It is the year 2005. The treacherous Decepticons have conquered the Autobots' home planet of Cybertron. Cybertrons. 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 Cybertron. Cybertrons. Cybertrons. Cybertron. 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 Cybertrons. Cybertron.
We now return you to the Children of Primus.
Hello, hello.
There we go.
Welcome to Sunday Night Freestyle.
Hey, everybody.
Frenzy freestyle on the Sunday. There we go.
Hey, Toy Warp.
What is going on, guys?
I'll tell you what's going on. Deadpool's been going on. Have you seen it? Have you seen it?
No
Oh,
spoilers.
you froze. Or did I?
I was.
freeze?
I didn't freeze.
Sorry, it was me that froze.
No spoilers. The old lady got sick today. She couldn't go see it, so we haven't seen it. So
Oh,
no.
spoilers.
We were just about to spoil it.
Oh,
No
Yeah, we're
spoilers.
going to mention all the people and all the plots and everything.
Yeah.
yeah,
It
that
was a
sounds
great-
that sounds about on par. Yeah.
Just 3 words. Till you're 90. Till you're 90.
Till you're
hear that,
90.
you?
I'm just
You'll
gonna
like
guess
it.
that's how long
You'll
he's
get it. You'll get it whenever you see it. It's great. It's absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Well, what's funny is I was looking up a few images, came across a couple of YouTube videos, and there's one video where they said like all the best scenes from the movie. And then someone commented that the entire movie is the best scene of the movie.
Nice. Yeah,
Mhm.
we're gonna go see it
Totally.
tomorrow night.
The whole thing was great. Yeah,
Nice.
it's a great show. You're gonna really enjoy it.
Well, happy birthday to Peter Optimus Prime Cullen today.
That's
Yep.
correct.
Man, that's awesome. It's Peter Cullen's birthday today. Great.
Indeed. He should be 83.
Oh, wow.
83 years young. Wow. He's an impressive guy.
Still doing the circuit of going up the fan whatever
Fanboy Expo.
well I don't he's not going to be at my fanboy expo, but he's still going to do he's going to be at TFCon Baltimore. I guess they just announced that. But he a whole bunch of different conventions that he is still doing, at his age. So yes, very, very good to see that. Him
Awesome.
and Frank Welker both.
That's a nice display you have going on back there.
This is the new display case.
Beautiful.
Yes, we're going to zoom in on that for a moment.
Wow. That is stunning. That's really nice lighting you have.
How long did it
So
take to do that case?
How long did it take to save for, or how long did it take to put together? Hold up here. Took quite a while
Nice.
to save for it. You know, past buying car parts, but it was a pain in the butt to put together. Oh my god, like a whole day's worth of trying to put this thing together.
No, that is beautiful.
It's actually like a store display case.
Okay.
So I got it at like a store fixture place. I think I got it out the door for around $750.
Nice.
Wow. And did it come with the lights already in there?
No, I had to wait. This really got me. I thought I had lights here that I could put into it, but I had to end up ordering them off of Amazon to put in the case, and I had to wait like an extra day to put it together. It was really killing me because, like, on the other side of the room, I had every single one of my Transformers out on like an 8-foot table, just kind of like, you know, laid all out on how I was going to put them back into the case. And then it was really fun too because, like, I haven't rearranged my cases in like 10 years. I've just added to them, so rearranging them was pretty fun.
Yeah, that's fun. Awesome. One thing I'm
Sorry, go ahead, Magnus. Oh,
one thing I'm really
Go ahead, Kitty. Go ahead.
One thing I want to really point out, I'm really loving your display cases. You have on full display that Optimus Prime sleepover suitcase there. I have that, and I actually took that with me to this TFCon. I carried with me some of my toys and comics in there.
You know, I can't remember. I was just thinking about it when I was putting it in there because I didn't have room to display it before. But I can't remember for the life of me where I got it. But I literally had to get onto like the Transformer pages of the time because I've had it since like 2004, 2005, somewhere around in there. And I had to get on like the pages to make sure it was real because I had never seen one before up to that point. So I had to get on the pages and make sure, like, you know, here's pictures of this thing. Do you guys think this is time period correct? Because I literally hadn't seen it before.
wow.
Cool. I haven't seen another one actually either, so I'm actually really surprised to see that. I'm gonna go grab mine in a bit. That's awesome.
Nice.
So what I was going to say while we were talking about Peter Cullen's birthday, happy birthday, Peter Cullen. His next 4 live viewings are Fan Expo Chicago, August 16th through the 18th at the Donald E. Stevens Convention Center, Rosemont, Illinois. Soda City Comic Con, August 24th through the 25th, Metropolitan Convention Center, Columbus, South Carolina. Edmonton Expo, September 20th through the 22nd, Edmonton Expo Center, Edmonton, Alberta. And TFCon Baltimore, November 1st through the 3rd, Hilton, Baltimore, Inner Harbor West, Pratt Street, Baltimore, Maryland. That's a weird. Hilton. I guess it's the Hilton, Inner Harbor West, Pratt Street. I guess that's the address. There must be more than one Hilton there.
That's awesome. He's a busy
But those
guy.
are his next 4 for this year.
Still trucking.
Yep. And
Speaking of
through
voice actors being different
Comic
places,
Con.
there's a Fanboy Expo, which I am just embarrassed to say that I'm going to because it just sounds weird. Fanboy Expo.
It does.
But luckily, I have a G1 Jetfire coming in the mail, courtesy of Deceptikitty. And Greg Berger is going to be at Fanboy Expo in Orlando.
Nice.
So I'm taking the movie poster and Jetfire over there to have him sign those.
Wow, that's awesome. That's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, who would have thought your old Jetfire ended up in Greg Berger's hands?
Yeah, totally. That's awesome.
I'm kind of on the hunt in between for a boxed Grimlock to have him signed too, but I don't know if it's going to happen before, what is that, like the beginning of September. So literally like less than a month and a half away. So
Wow.
yeah, I've got like a month and a half to come up with the funding to find a Grimlock that's still in the box.
Mhm. Awesome.
Cool. Now, before we get to the main topic, which we'll do probably like closer to the 8:30ish or 9, and in terms of Hasbro buying Mattel, any reveals that you guys have for the week? Silence.
I'll have it next week. Waiting on that box right now.
Yeah. So me too. This
Hello.
week I have. Oh hey, Fear Courage.
Can you hear me? Am I audible?
Yeah.
A
Hear you
friend of
loud.
mine, yeah, a friend of mine just gave me a new headset, so I thought I'd try it out live because that always turns out good. But this time it actually did.
Awesome.
All
Looks
right.
good.
I've been off the grid for a few days. I know about the SDCC reveals because I believe I shared the Knight Rider crossover with everybody.
Mhm.
I don't know about nothing else, so for once I'm in the dark a little bit.
That's a change.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's different. It's mysterious.
That's so cool. Now we're educating you this show. That's the first.
Yeah. So, by all means, what is this? What is this thing that's being talked about? This buyout or whatever?
Okay. So
We
this
haven't started
buyout.
that yet.
Mm,
Oh, okay. Well, all in good time then.
Mhm.
Yeah, only good time because when we do start discussing that, I have a tale of woe that relates to the topic. So
A tale
I-
of whoa.
Whoa. And I had a feeling that you know, in terms of the Mattel side, would have a handful of things to say about it. I know another recent news, there was the second trailer of the TF1 Transformers movie for coming out in September that a lot of people have been talking about.
Yeah. See, I haven't watched that yet. I know it dropped on the weekend. I've not had video access. Though I will say it's definitely the point where if it wasn't like my thing that I do for streaming, I probably wouldn't watch the second trailer because if it's a movie I already know I'm going to see, generally I stop seeking out advertising after a certain point.
Mhm.
yep.
I mean, I
don't
want
need
to
to
look.
sell it.
I want to look because I do this, but like beyond that, I'm like, yeah, I'm good. You don't need to sell it to me anymore.
Professor D hiding in the comments saying, does
Yeah.
that mean Anthony hasn't seen the new trailer? We should play it and discuss it before the main topic.
It's true, we haven't. Would we get copyright struck for that? Like,
Yeah, now if I were able to, because we were up north for most of the weekend, so I wouldn't have had time to download it, do whatever slight changes so we don't get a copyright strike. But that would have been an amazing idea. I
You
know
can
we
still
were
do it. You just
speaking.
kind of have to pause it, every 15 seconds or so.
ooh,
Yeah,
look at that
that's
banner.
Oh,
Oh, look what we've got here.
dun, 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 dun,
You
dun.
could
This
make a
is-
cape out of that.
Definitely
This is not-
keeps Stevie back in style.
This is the 9-foot tall feather flag that we got for free because we didn't order it. But since it has our logo on it, she was like, "Well, I can't sell it to anybody else, so you can just have it."
Nice.
And then we also have this. Am I upside down? Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
Ooh,
There it is.
Wow.
It's
Beautiful.
it's so striking. It's a great logo, isn't it?
Ooh, so I'm behind.
That is beautiful.
Yes.
It's almost as if like that logo just like appears in certain places.
It's funny. I haven't gotten the update yet because I threw on my usual streaming T-shirt, the one that's Nexus Maximus. But I'll
Nice.
upgrade to the new iOS soon.
Well, Professor D says, "Oh well, never mind." Now that he commented, you can't get copyright struck for playing a trailer because they want the trailer to be played as far as wide as possible.
Interesting.
Professor D
Not
says, "Joke is on
entirely
her."
true.
That is true. That flag will be worth $1,000 at least by next year.
Yeah.
About
That's right.
$2,000 specifically.
About 2,000.
Of $2,000.
Only if CBR does an article on it.
This
Yeah.
is true. Now, the funny thing, I know we're not going to jump too much into the Deadpool conversation, to avoid any spoilers, for anyone that hasn't seen it or anything.
That's me.
You haven't seen it as yet either.
No,
Well,
I was gone Friday. I was gone Saturday. I just flew in, and boy are my arms tired. So
the only thing I will say is in terms of Ryan Reynolds embracing being Deadpool for however many years and just really being behind this project, it's something Transformers should have. Whereas like if you have a fan that has, you know, that amount of resources, money and everything and becomes that character, that's what the franchise needs. Because like comparing almost every Transformers movie to Deadpool and Wolverine, that one movie like takes out the entire Transformers franchise, unfortunately.
jeez, really?
Yeah.
That's tall order coming from you.
Well, as I mentioned just before I came on, it's there was a video of, you know, someone on YouTube posted like best scenes of the movie, although they didn't really show any spoilers. It was almost basically just regurgitating the stuff that came out there. But someone commented that the best scene of the movie is the entire movie.
Right.
Mhm.
Oh, it's tall order.
Yeah, it's every gratuitous fight scene you've ever dreamed of wanting to see.
Yeah.
Oh, and just generally speaking, I'll put this out there too. I'm probably one of the few people that doesn't care about media being spoiled. I don't ruin things for other people because I know I'm that rare person. But if we were in this situation where we didn't care about the audience, which why would we do that? We care about the audience. You could totally discuss spoiler things with me, and I wouldn't care because that's never ruined things for me.
Right on.
But I know I'm odd. I'm weird about it.
Yeah, that's cool. But Toy Warp also hasn't seen it, so we're not going to.
Oh, there you go. Okay, so we're doing this for you, buddy.
Yeah.
Thank you. Like I said, I was supposed to go see it today, but the old lady woke up with vertigo, and she couldn't, like, once she sat up, she couldn't lay back down. So it's been a very long day for her.
You weren't there to see Alfred Hitchcock. You were there to see whoever directed Deadpool. I just assume everything's Ryan Reynolds. Who directed this one?
Oh, it was the same guy who directed the previous one, I believe.
Oh, okay, that works.
That works. Professor D says, you guys were joking, but I guarantee a CBR article is coming. It is only karma and is not necessary. It is not necessary the most glowing review of our channel.
There'll be like 10 reasons why those guys suck.
Reason number.
I have to correct myself. It wasn't the previous director. It was Sean Levy. Yeah, thank you.
Oh, okay.
Magnus.
Oh, cool.
I wouldn't even be mad if they posted a big negative article.
It was written by Ryan Reynolds.
Oh,
Nice.
really?
Nice.
Yeah, but I was kind of wondering, like,
Ryan Reynolds, Rhett Reese, and Paul Wernick.
his whole thing was, doing the quips, the unscripted quips, and I guess he couldn't do it because they were filming it during the writer's strike. So, I was kind of afraid that was going to detract from previous Deadpools. I mean, half of what he says isn't even scripted.
Well, which makes it great. Like, I think he's the master of like just breaking the fourth wall and just in any jokes that any fan has, like that's in there. So it's like you'll enjoy it beginning to end.
Yeah, it's a great superpower to have to break the fourth wall.
Like repeatedly.
I can only think of 2 or 3 that do. Him, Lobo, and She-Hulk.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I think it's Norman Fell who played Mr. Roper in Three's Company. And I believe they said him and Newhart. Actually, no, Newhart was more deadpan, but Mr. Roper was kind of a master of breaking the fourth wall repeatedly in the show.
I can remember. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say, I always have this idea for a bit, and I free them to use this, and I'm presuming they didn't do this in Deadpool 3. What you got to do is you got to get Deadpool and She-Hulk in the same production and have them both start talking at the audience at the same time and both get flummoxed and mad that the other one is doing that and wondering how and talking about stealing their bit.
That would be funny.
Like same scene, they both do it at once and then.
That's a good idea.
I like that idea.
I release it into the ether if you're watching. Just give Children of Primus special thanks in the scroll.
Yeah, royalties. Send royalties to info@childrenofprimus. Is that already?
Well, I guess in that case, then maybe we will jump to our main topic, which let me see if I have the flyer for, and it's quite interesting. It has been a real conversation piece in all of the Facebook forums. One person just being extremely upset about it and just basically saying, it's like, oh, you're lying, this isn't happening. I'm like, well, okay, that's your opinion, but it's essentially about Hasbro, possibly buying out Mattel. But when you read further into it, there's actually a larger company that is aiming to buy Mattel. And once Hasbro got word of that, they are also trying to buy Mattel as well. And it's not the first time that they've tried doing this. Sorry.
I was gonna say that's why I was like, is this for real? Because I swear I'd heard about that before, and that's probably what you're referencing.
Mm-hmm. And it's brought up a lot of conversations in terms of what would happen with the line if Hasbro does buy them. With all sorts of jokes, would we end up with like transforming Barbies or master class He-Man figures, or would just anything under Mattel just completely get tanked?
There's a lot of vehicles in Masters of the Universe that would make good Transformers crossovers, and they could even do a Barbie dream car that changes into RC.
Oh, that would be interesting.
The pink Cadillac from the new.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking of.
Earthspark, which she's that pink Cadillac.
Yeah, that's most of the way there.
Right on.
Yeah. What vehicles did Masters of the Universe have? The only thing I can remember was that skeleton thing that carried all the troops.
There's that very weird dragon walking thing I always see GIFs of, where it was like extended and retracted and extended and retracted.
Yep. Classic one.
That's right.
I remember that.
There was the eagle-faced shuttle that they all flew around on, the one-man like jet.
Yeah.
And then it kind of looked like Cobra Commander or Cobra Emperor's shuttle had an eagle head on the front of it instead of a Cobra head. There was a great big Zor glider that looked like Zor from what's it called, the castle.
Grayskull or Snake Mountain?
Castle Grayskull. There was the Zor, the eagle that came with that set up on the top peak. They had a jet like spaceship thing that was shaped like him. It was gold and silver. Cobra Commander. Skeletor had another shuttle that he flew around in.
Yeah, like that. Yeah.
They didn't just walk everywhere. And, He-Man rode in on Battle Cat, and Skeletor rode in on the Purple Panther. I don't remember its name.
Panthro, or is that Thundercats?
No, Panthro's Thundercats.
I'm getting my lines crossed.
There's a skill testing question, because I honestly don't know Skeletor's Purple Cat's name. Like, I never knew the name.
It's Panther. It's probably so obvious that you forgot.
Is it really? Is it Panther?
Oh, so I literally just switched the two letters around at the end, basically.
Yeah, Panther.
Wow.
So I was close. It's the size of that purchase, though. That's a lot of stuff. It makes me think of there's this thing going around right now. Like Hasbro bought Power Rangers some years ago now. What was it, like maybe 5 years ago, I think? Maybe even more recent than that.
Oh, wow. There's a lot of vehicles.
Yeah. And they were doing great for a while, but Power Rangers just all of a sudden just stopped cold and is just currently dead. Like the last show was 10 episodes and then it just ended. The Lightning Collection just suddenly stopped. The comics are like either ending or rebooting. It's a little unclear. And they're just going to farm the brand out. So I think there's the concern if they bought like Mattel that would happen to some of their stuff.
Well, yeah, Hasbro's the big toy company, and it would make more sense for Hasbro to buy out Mattel than some luxury beauty company.
Is that the other one?
Yeah. So the name of the company. Oh, I've lost it.
It's El Cateron.
Thank you. Yeah. So this is a company that also owns the Birkenstock
Sorry, hit the wrong
sandals
button.
company. And I was reading up on Google that the article broke on the Monday from Reuters when the stocks were very low. And once it broke that this company was buying Mattel, the stocks actually jumped up a decent amount. But Mattel stocks have always historically been pretty consistent. They haven't been quite up and down as much as Hasbro has.
Yeah, I was gonna say like they make Hot Wheels and they make Barbie. I think like that's just like permanent job security for them, sort of.
Yeah, exactly.
Eh, I mean, Hot Wheels is the #1 selling toy in the world, but you know, the whole job security thing. I mean, we were discussing it on another week when we were discussing companies that were buying out YouTube channels, and it's just Spin brought it up where the bigger company that buys these out just wants them in the portfolio. It doesn't want to do anything with them per se. It just wants them in the portfolio.
Yeah, I can see that happening with Hasbro, just eating up some of these licenses and just keeping it quiet for some time. Kind of what happened with GoBots.
Yeah. Well, isn't the problem with GoBots that everybody, the chunks of it are scattered to the wind amongst different companies, so they can't exactly fully revive it? That's my understanding. I might be way off on that. Like,
It is, yeah, Machine Robo in Japan, so the licensing is probably split internationally.
yeah, because like Bandai has the toys because they were Bandai toys, and Hasbro has the names and concepts, and Hanna-Barbera does the cartoon. So I think there's a little bit of a rights split there.
Yeah, because when the GoBots were sold in America, they were sold under the Tonka brand.
Yeah. So Hasbro bought Tonka. Yeah, maybe that's a good use case, right? Because they got Tonka and they got the names and ideas and story material behind GoBots, but they didn't get the rights to any of the toolings or like the designs because those were imported Bandai things, and Hasbro didn't buy Bandai; they bought Tonka.
So in the case of Mattel, since Mattel produces their own stuff, it's not like purchased from some other Japanese company, Hasbro could potentially get all their toys as well as the franchise storylines and all that.
Yeah. I wonder if well, I mean, how's Masters of the Universe doing as a brand? Because at least in my neck of the woods, distribution for it is very bad, but also they seem to be releasing it pretty prolifically because you got the like 6-7 inch line that's pretty much the same thing as your Hasbro 6-inchers, and then you have those little Origin guys that were just the prototype for like Missing Link Optimus, where it's just the original guys but more articulated. And people seem to like those. So as a brand, I guess it's doing okay, question mark?
It would have to be, considering didn't they come out on Netflix with like 2 different iterations of Masters of the Universe, an animated
and Revelation, it was like the CGI one for kids and the 2D one that Kevin Smith did for the older audience, basically.
Yes.
Which is a good way to split it. Yeah. I don't know if any of those are still on right now, but given the way streaming services love to cancel their shows, I don't think popularity has much of anything to do with it.
No, it's they're already doing season 2 of the Kevin Smith one.
Oh, that's good.
Nice.
So, popularity being what it is, I would imagine. Yeah, I would imagine the brand is very alive and well.
Yeah.
Check out that link I put in private. I didn't realize there was that many vehicles in Masters of the Universe.
Oh wow.
Oh, it's Devastator. Yeah, I saw, because I didn't get to see the San Diego Comic-Con reveals, like the panel itself, but I saw the images after the fact. So they did properly announce that leaked Devastator, eh?
Yep, and I'm excited for that thing because this thing, I mean, it's China, but, well, I need the newer one.
Yeah.
Also,
Did you see
custom pan purple hands.
Oh, nice.
Cool. Which version is that?
The Chinese Combined Wars one, the smaller one.
So it's a bootleg of it, sort of.
Cool.
Yeah, and that's been the gold standard for a very long time. But people are jonesing for an animation accurate version.
Kind of hard to get an animation accurate version considering he was different every time he formed up in the cartoon.
Yeah. Well, they're
shit.
going to try. Studio Series 86 is all about ridiculous levels of animation accuracy, so they're going to give it the college try and dedicate as much engineering as possible, and much engineering, time, and manpower to replicate cost-cutting animation measures from the 80s. That's how they do.
Let's see what they do for Prowl. We're waiting still for the 86 Prowl.
Yeah. Like these Origin guys, that's what they're about doing. They're like, look, it looks like a Porsche changes into a space vehicle because we didn't want to drop a different robot mode. Decades later, you got engineers going nuts trying to replicate that feat in physical space. I'm not even hating. I just funny, and I love seeing them try it. Oh my god, look at all those vehicles.
And Charlie C hiding in the comments says there's another He-Man show in the planning for Netflix.
Huh. It looks like they have an Exo Squad mech like on the top row there, like fourth from left.
I thought Power Rangers toy line was Bandai.
It used to be. When Hasbro bought like Super Sentai, which it's based on, it's still made by Bandai, but and when Saban owned it, which they did for most of its life, Bandai of America made the toys, but when Hasbro bought it, they bought everything, including the rights to make the toys. So for the last few years, Power Rangers has been a Hasbro production. Yeah.
I'm just looking to see if there's any stamps on this one.
Yeah. They could always give it back to Bandai if they want, but yeah, Hasbro's been making them for a few years now because they got everything with it.
Huh. Usually on the inside of an arm or the inside of a leg somewhere, there's a stamp that somebody says, hey, that's mine.
Freakenstein says, what's up, bots? What's up, Freakenstein?
Going on.
Also, has anybody ever done Transformers custom?
Yeah, I've done quite a few customs. Yeah, dude.
I have occasionally. Sorry, I was looking for some example stuff, but never mind. I've occasionally dabbled some Gundam marker on a few figures to bring out a detail here or there, but that's about the extent of it. You know, painting an unpainted window, adding a silver highlight.
As I quickly transfer my Dark of the Moon Ratchet, I did custom paint job on him since, well, I haven't had a real good Ratchet ever since the 2007 Ratchet. Ooh.
Oh, shit.
Bandai. This one's Bandai anyway.
That's your whole custom.
That's for now.
Oh yeah. Oh, the white tiger Zord, yeah.
Nice.
On the inside of the leg or inside of the foot.
Oh yeah.
And so this is my custom Ratchet.
Yeah. Cause like the Hasbro thing was like very recent, so there's a lot of new Bandai stuff still floating around. Like at TFCon, the guy at the table next to us was selling Bandai Power Ranger stuff still. Because when did the Hasbro buyout happen? I'm just gonna look that year up.
And Charlie C says the He-Man figures are selling slowly, but you can find them at discount stores.
Yeah, there's quite a few He-Man figures being sold at the Dollarama near me. In fact, today or the other day I went by, I saw there was a WWE crossovering over with He-Man figures, and there's been recent crossovers like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle crossovers, and quite a few figures.
And now we have another G.I. Joe crossover with Cup now being a part of them.
Oh yeah, that was a crazy reveal.
That was cool.
Cup changes into a triple T.
I was also expecting it because we're using the World War II guys. Ooh, this is even more exciting.
Yeah.
The one that I'm 100% getting. Ooh.
Yeah, those are Bandai Power Rangers figures.
These are also Bandai.
Yeah, so I looked it up. The first Hasbro products were released in 2019, so that's how recently they got into Power Rangers, and everything before that is Bandai.
Wow, cool. They tried really hard to bring that brand back, like really hard thing. Because didn't the movie release in 2019?
No, that was like 2017.
Yep. Also, fun fact actually, speaking of like San Diego Comic-Con, my very first ever like Comic-Con action figure I ever got, quite conveniently, was the San Diego Comic-Con the exclusive Terracon Cliff Jumper in box.
Oh yeah, the zombie cliff jumper. Yeah,
Rest in peace.
Yeah, they made it an exclusive because the one that was supposed to be easy to get wound up not appearing on shelves. So they were like, "Here's what we need to do: make it a rare convention exclusive." Because that's so
Well,
much
on
better.
eBay, it's cheap to get. I need to get a new one because mine broke because I got at a very young age, and I mean young. Also, speaking of custom parts, I also made Ratchet's custom gun.
Oh, nice.
For Bayverse.
Sweet. Let's see.
I used model clay and a bunch of other things to try and model out the details.
Oh, right on. What kind of model clay are you using? Sculpey?
Nope. If I just pull it out here, it's just Crayola model clay. Somehow I managed to do everything with it.
Right on. Right on. So you can. How do you get it to dry? What's the dry method?
Just put paint and Sharpie on, and it usually dries up in maybe an hour.
Right on. That's cool.
And also, this is my custom. So this is my original Ratchet, and he broke, and so I turned him into Transformers AOE battle damaged Ratchet.
Oh gosh, the traumatic scene.
Yeah. And also, I'm right now working on for my G1 inspired stuff right now, just this morning. So I woke up maybe around 2ish and I was completely bored. So I just came down here and waited for sunset and sunrise. And so I just did Jetfire's sacrifice scene in all G1 basically, since
nice.
I have him.
So this guy up on screen. Oh, there we go.
And I also wanted to do Optimus getting Jetfire's parts, so I mixed in a little bit of 6-gun here and there. So, I could basically give Jetfire the appeal that, parts were flying off of him to go on to Optimus. Yeah. Still being worked on.
No, Freakenstein says use thermoplastic next time. Also says I just did an interview with 3D printing Titans. He's the one with the 4-foot Metroplex and Triptychon and 8-foot Unicron that was at TFCon in the US last. It was crazy to see what he did.
And looked also at the HasLab and said, we need to go a little further.
And also suggest we should get him on the show.
Yeah. So this guy here, this is the one that all you guys are probably after because it's the Knight Rider collaboration and they got the license. It's apparently got lights and sounds.
Give me some interview for what Knight Rider is. I have no clue what it is.
It is a...
Do me a favor and run into this. Don't you ever.
I don't heard of the Dukes of Hazzard either, have you? Oh no.
Well, this is fun. Because I mean, his parents are like our age, so he didn't grow up in the days of Dukes and Knight Rider. I guess the best way to describe Knight Rider. Mm-hmm.
My kids know who they are.
Yeah. Well, have you ever been or seen? Well, I mean, I guess everyone's seen, but have you been in a test like any of the Tesla cars?
Nope.
Okay, in a sense, Knight Rider is what Tesla is today, with just the difference of having his own intelligence and being basically he was a robot, but within a car. So it was cool for us when we were kids back in, I think that it came out 82, 83. But then I could understand some debates we've had with others where it's like, well, bring back this show. And I'm like, well, yeah, the concept was cool in 83. In 2024, it's not cool because anyone can basically buy a Knight Rider with just, the difference of it not having its own mind and stuff.
We have self-driving talking cars now.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's not
Exactly.
We have self-driving talking cars, but they don't jump canyons very much.
Yeah.
Number two, they actually rebooted Knight Rider. I think it was around 2008.
Yeah, they tried a couple times.
Twice.
It was really cool actually because instead of using a Trans Am, they use a Mustang. But they kind of used the CGI technology from Transformers, the live action movie. To change him into different vehicles to camouflage himself, on missions.
Which I think the premise of the guy who was in that show was supposed to be, I think, Michael Knight's son that he wasn't aware of. And I think in one part of the later seasons before it was canceled or something, they had a fight with Carr. and Carr transformed into a robot.
And guess who voiced him?
Yeah.
Oh yes, I forgot about that.
Mr. Birthday Boy.
Oh,
Mr.
wait a minute, hold
Birthday
on.
Boy.
No, hold on. Now I'm trying to remember if that's correct.
Oh,
Peter Cullen voiced him in his first appearance, and then it was somebody else. Come to find out, and then I'm trying. Yeah, okay, yeah, it was him for the 2008 reboot.
Cool.
It was Peter Cullen for the 2008. I had to stop myself because I just found out myself that Carr's second and last appearance in the original series wasn't Peter Cullen. It was somebody else.
I never knew that.
I didn't either until a couple days ago.
I forget which year it was, but when Peter Cullen came to TFCon Toronto, there was someone who had a car, like it was totally outfitted to make it look like the show. And Peter Cullen, I think he came in, he sat in the car and he signed it, I think, on the dash or something like that.
Ooh, that's
nice.
wonderful.
You know, I wonder if it's the same person. And as weird as the story is, before Zeller's was closing, I think that would have been maybe 2012 or so. At the time, they were like selling off everything, and I was going into the Zellers, and I heard Kit Scanner in the parking lot. And I'm like, I must be hearing this in my head. And I'm still walking in the store, and I'm hearing Kit Scanner in the parking lot again. And I'm like, you know what? Let me just turn around and look, because there's no way I'm hearing Kit Scanner in my head. And there was someone just parked maybe about 30 feet away with Knight Rider or with Kit. And I had to walk.
That's just wonderful.
Yeah. And I took, and only because it was an older phone, but I took a video of it, and he opened the door, showed me the dash and everything. But what was also cool is the red scanner on Kit, he could just quickly pop it out and put in the yellow scanner, and now it's Carr.
Ooh.
It's funny because I feel like I have a little bit more whimsy than you, because if I had that experience, my reaction wouldn't be, oh, I'm hearing this in my head. My reaction would be, it's real. All of it.
No, we have a guy in Owensboro that has a TA that's done up just like Kit. It's got the lights, it's got the wraparound dashboard, everything. His even has was it like season 3 or season 4 where he had the air brake things that popped up on the hood.
That's
Super pursuit mode. Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy on screen here, I rapidly learned what his deal is. This is wild. So this is Missing Link Sentinel Prime. It's an imaginary, it's an imaginary G1 Sentinel Prime that doesn't exist.
I think I last checked Sentinel was blue and orange.
Yeah. So is this guy, and they're showing what it's based on here. His truck mode, is based on the truck that they scanned in the first episode to make Optimus's alt mode.
Yeah, that tickles me just the right way. It's like remembering watching that show on VHS.
Maybe I just might buy another Prime and just paint it like that. Maybe
you could.
Totally,
they cheated a little bit because you can see he's not like totally yellow. It's more like a faded master thing. But they're like, no, we're playing into the animation weirdness.
Orange, basically.
Yeah,
we did also have a yellow Optimus Prime release, but it was actually a Japanese Ultra Magnus. It was a yellow shining Ultra Magnus released in, I guess, in late 2000s.
Also,
there was also the RID version.
Yeah, Splendid Yellow Convoy is it's called sometimes.
There's also a yellow RID one. There was a Costco exclusive.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
It's expensive as shit.
Yeah, and the guy that designed the new HasLab Optimus has said, we understand that you want a yellow one. I want it too. It's unlikely, but I'm trying to make it happen.
I didn't know Costco sold Transformers.
I don't think they do anymore, but back in the day, they had some exclusives.
Yeah.
Okay.
This would be like the 2000s.
Since we never had a Costco here until like 4 years ago. So
there's been a
the first I've heard
in
of it.
my area for a little while. How long's the Costco been here?
Yeah, they're slowly.
It's at least been several years that this Costco in my area has been here for.
I've never been inside one.
Oh yeah,
I haven't either.
They're the definition of like an Aldi or basically giant, except with a clothing mall inside of it.
It's like Sam's Club.
Or Sam's Club, if you ever have heard of it.
I think Sam's Club's American because I don't think we have them up here.
Yeah, I hear about them, but I never see them.
Mm-hmm.
Ah,
we
so
have
this
them.
is what you were talking about.
Yeah, the other yellow Optimus.
Also, speaking of Ultra Magnus, I'm right now in the dizzy because I want to pre-plan for a bunch of the stuff I have planned for like college and everything, and I usually want to bring one character with me. Which should I get first beforehand? I'm right now trying to think of it. I'm either getting the Transformers Delta Magnus MP whatever number die stacked, or the Transformers MP17 Prowl.
Prowl is smaller and more likely to survive a journey to college, so if I had to pick one, I'd say that.
Well, the reason why I say Delta Magnus is because the thing itself is beefy and very hard to break.
Well, that is true. Still, smaller is better if you're transporting one guy.
Yeah, then you
For
can
me,
take pictures of
basically,
them all over.
bigger
You can
the
be a photo
object,
companion.
easier to see. I lose things easily.
Look, Deceptikitty has a point. Then you can take photos of him all over the place.
Yeah, landmarks with him. Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
Also,
Which actually, SETTOM Bach does that with his figures.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Also,
the
I'm
Costco
really-
Optimus.
There was something about the HasLab in this one. I remember this one had also come up during the HasLab
Yeah.
live stream.
Like I said a second ago, everybody, this is the HasLab one is the original red deco of this, and this is such an in-demand item that everybody wants them to run the HasLab in these colors, even though that's not
Right.
terribly likely to happen because it's a
Right.
I think
HasLab.
Hasbro just needs to run a poll, and then I'm guessing it'll have at least 100%.
Yeah.
Someone's going to end up customizing their HasLab into this.
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
Mhm.
I think some people have all right. So I know a few people. There's this guy who took the Transformers original. So this is not the Netflix or the other type of Siege Ultra Magnus, and painted it up into RID 2001 not Sentinel Optimus. He did a very nice job with it. Ooh.
How'd you get that
Nice.
HasLab?
Yeah, the HasLab is just that with ankle tilts, basically.
Well, that's why I canceled mine.
Yeah,
But when I found out it's the exact same size and the only thing it has is ankles,
yeah,
I'm saving myself $300 soon.
yeah.
So
Right.
I think at the time the conclusion we reached is it costs about the same amount to get a vintage one off the aftermarket. So if you wanted one, you might as well have funded the HasLab because it was the same price anyway. Just get the one where it's new and less likely to be decayed. That's about the only tiebreaker.
Freakenstein says, I've decided to move and buy an old truck trailer and turn it into Prime's trailer and make a mini Transformers museum and make stairs going up to look like Optimus Prime. And RJ Eagle says, good evening, guys. Yeah, some cool SDCC reveals, including the Knight Rider one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. Oh,
Mr.
nice to have
Magnus
them
coming
boxed
in
too.
with the in-box Magnus and Prime.
Yeah, those
See-
boxes give me nostalgia.
This one gives me
Extremely.
super
I
nostalgia,
miss those
particularly
days.
the Prime on the bottom. The store that I bought my Optimus Prime suitcase from, that was there on the shelf, and that was a new item. And I think this
Oh,
was
boy.
in 2000, but it was the Japanese version. It was this one hole in the wall somewhere in
there's
Toronto.
Mags.
Hey,
Oh.
you know what? That's awesome. I just sold one of those at TFCon.
That is a beautiful figure.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Actually, Anthony sold that for me. Thank you, Anthony.
Yeah, I've also put money down. I haven't, but I would put money down. That's the next HasLab because like they did Starsaber and Victory Leo, and then they did Deathsaurus because he's the villain. So now they're making that Optimus. So they got to make their Megatron. So I feel like that's going to be the next
And while
one.
we have Legacy making us new characters, we already have Sideburn now. And while
Yeah.
sooner or later we're going to start getting more of the characters, I'm just hoping the Transformers RID Landfill Combiner I really love, but I'm really hoping they make that thing actually a combiner for Legacy. Especially now that Legacy's coming down to Legacy Unite's coming down to its final wave.
Hmm. Yeah, that next thing that was leaked to us, we know it's going to be about the 13 primes. Not entirely. There's going to be other figures in there.
Well,
But
the
the
only
13
prime I know
primes will
that
be
I'm
the
getting
focus.
out of it is Solus.
I might get the Fallen if they make him look like he did back in Dreamwave and have him be literally on fire all the time, but that's about it.
Cool. Well, so we swing back to our main topic of Hasbro possibly buying Mattel. Over to you, Toy Warp. What I know you had mentioned pros and cons for the bio. What say you?
All right. A tale of woe. Let me take you back to 1983 when Play School was owned by Milton Bradley. Play School wanted to break out of the 5 and under market and released a toy for the 5 to 8-year-old market, and that toy was the Bigfoot. Okay. That in 1984, it was followed by Black Gold, another truck, and Orange Blossom. And then 85 was followed by a couple of play sets and another truck, Warlord. Okay. The licensing for the 4 trucks, because they had to license it through the folks who had built the trucks and then owned the licensing for the trucks. The licensing for the trucks ran out on January 1st of 1987. Okay, or no, 86. Yeah. Hasbro bought Milton Bradley mid 1984. Okay, meaning that when they picked up Milton Bradley, they also picked up the licensing for these trucks to make the toys for them. Now Hasbro did throw a crappy ass cartoon at it to try to sell more units, but since the cartoon really didn't hit that big and the trucks weren't selling as well as, say, Transformers or other of the IPs they had at the time, they simply just let the licensing run out on the Bigfoot SST line, the supersized truck line, and let it be gone and buried. Okay. Come to find out, Play School was already in talks when Hasbro had bought them. Were already in talks with other companies that ran monster trucks, mainly Samson, because at the time the same guy who owned Warlord owned Samson, and USA One. So when you're talking like rivalries in 80s monster trucks, Bigfoot and USA One was where it was at. That was kind of like Hulk Hogan and Rowdy Roddy Piper in the wrestling cartoon, or Megatron and Prime. It was just where it was at. Okay, so that line actually had planned to go further. They just needed to renew the licensing. Hasbro killed all that. Not only did they kill that, but they killed monster truck toys for the next 6 years. Because it wasn't until like 91, 92, and Mattel picked up the rights to Bigfoot and all the other monster trucks. Huge tale of woe here, because all this stuff could have just kept going. It didn't need a crappy cartoon thrown at it. Okay, it needed some proper marketing, because in the cartoon and the toys were vaguely related. The trucks did not do a whole lot of stuff in the cartoon that was part of the play pattern of the actual trucks that you'd play with, unlike Transformers. Okay, so it killed anything that had to do with monster trucks, from like 86 to like 92. Okay, what happens when Hasbro picks up Mattel and they kill all the ideas that Mattel has for Hot Wheels? Hot Wheels has its own studio in Southern California and has been doing its thing, doing it well, mind you, since Hot Wheels is the #1 selling toy in the world and has been for many years now. What happens to the creativity that makes Hot Wheels Hot Wheels? And not to mention all the smaller brands that are under Mattel now, when it comes to like die-cast cars. Matchbox is under Mattel. I believe Johnny Lightning is under Mattel. All the creativity from all these lines just poof, gone when Hasbro gets a hold of it. It's like a life-sucking force that Hasbro is.
It's the definition of Unicron, as the cover of this entire thing shows, basically. It's eating up everything as it keeps moving on, just making more of it more, basically.
Doesn't escape the jowls of Unicron.
Well, as a Toy Warp mentioned earlier, in a previous conversation, and I work in the web hosting field where there's larger known companies, like when anyone says web hosting, they automatically think of like HostGator, GoDaddy, and companies like that. But a lot of those companies are owned or were bought out by a larger company. And independently, I'll take HostGator for instance. That was started from, I believe his name was Brent, about 20 years ago, college student, started it off, built it up into the monster company that it was. But while it was still under him, they still had that attachment to their customers. But after all, with any company, once it becomes large, there's that disconnect between the company and the customers, where it's just customers are just a number at that point. The larger company comes and buys it out and just kind of tanks the whole service part of the company, and they buy out other larger companies and just tank the service side of the company. And the larger companies don't care about that, because it's just, well, when it's time for them to, it's business. When it's time for them to go for, a larger loan and say, well, we'd like to purchase this company, lend us $1 billion. They're like, well, why should we lend it to you? Well, we own, 45 companies under our belt. Whether they're functioning or not, we own 45 companies. Okay, go ahead and just buy another one out, and that's their pattern.
I'm going to point out one more real quick tangent that we need to watch out for. So Mattel owns the rights to Pixar's toys.
Oh.
Disney,
if Hasbro buys that, that's going to be
owns
horrifying.
Pixar. So now we're getting the big bad Disney.
Disney's about to restore Hasbro.
Involved with my toy line.
Well, Hasbro's already been doing a lot of the Marvel toys.
It's true.
I don't want to see any
failing.
I don't want to see
Ross
any
and
of
Alex
that.
style.
Yeah.
I can handle Star Wars and Marvel, but I'm not seeing cars all of a sudden actually transform into actual people.
Yeah, I think Hasbro went
Cars
over.
cartoon is in here. All the Disney princesses, as far as dolls and action figures, are Mattel. Jurassic Park, DC Comic Universe, Thundercats, Motu,
so pretty much
Hot Wheels, Matchbox, and that's what I was saying just a minute ago. Hot Wheels, Matchbox, and Micro Machines.
WWE.
Yes, the wrestlers are down at the bottom. Barbie, Monopoly.
That's a big one.
Which Hasbro and Mattel have done a crossover with Monopoly. They had a Barbie Monopoly and a Transformers Uno card game in
also,
recent years.
Hasbro did a Transformers. I had with me being a kid, me being bored and not having electronics. My parents bought me a bunch of like board games, basically for Transformers, basically.
Cool,
and
cool.
One of them being Rescue Bots, being matched the character to the actual character. And if I'm correct, that was a crossover with something.
Monopoly had a Transformers one too.
Yep. I had also a Beast Wars Monopoly.
Oh, I didn't know that they had that.
Don't tell me that one's in there too.
Also, for an out of context, I somehow switched their legs.
I could have sworn Galoob was bought by Hasbro and not Mattel. When you said Micro Machines earlier, and it was a Galoob product, I thought it was Hasbro that bought those out.
That's a company name I haven't heard in so long.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Galoob.
Galoob were the masters of diecast.
As in Ben 10.
Does your brain say Micro Machines on it? No, then it's not the real thing.
Oh, yes.
Also, sadly, Lockdown's legs decided to implode on me, so I had to build, a new spanking new one.
Cool.
So I have to start covering it up.
I cannot believe the value that Micro Machine still holds.
Yeah.
Really?
Holy crap. Yeah,
Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
Yes.
I straight up don't know where my micro machines are. I've been looking for them for years. I had a big plastic bin. I had a lot of the Star Trek ones and a lot of the Star Wars ones, just the ships, because I used to collect them all. But of course, because I was a kid, I was playing with them, so I kept them in a bin. If I could find that bin, I'm sure there's a lot of stuff there that's still intact because I took care of them.
I think Mr. Magnus's
Talk to my dad
Unicron
about that.
has
He has a bunch of old
sent him over to his place.
Yeah,
It's gone beyond Transformers. Unless
Everybody
micro
has
machines
that
are so
one missing
small, it's just kind of like the
Transformer thing.
debris.
Yep.
yeah. Just the entire fleet of small Starship Enterprises just traveling in that direction.
Oh gosh.
Cool.
Well, Charlie C says, didn't Hasbro recently lay off some people and now they're buying Mattel?
I had to reverse Ratchet's hand because I put it on for his, I think it was, it's his right hand basically. So I reversed his hand so the right-handed handle would fit into his gun mode because he uses this arm to shoot at humans in the scene. And then it gets blasted off.
Hasbro laying off those people, and now
It was
thinking
1,000 workers that they laid off, if I'm correct.
about buying, about buying Mattel. They're buying Mattel out of a desperate attempt to get the IPs that Mattel holds.
Oh,
I'm just kind of wondering why Mattel's for sale again. Hot Wheels is the #1 selling toy in the world.
Maybe.
Why? What has put them into a point of being purchased?
Is it not quite knowing how this works? Is it a case where they actually said they were for sale, or is it just these guys coming to them unsolicited with dump trucks full of money and pointing to them?
Exactly. I think that's the latter case there. I think they're just trying to stir up some people within Mattel to consider the buyout, but I don't think Mattel didn't comment even at all on this.
In their mansion
I have
made of
no
Hot Wheels
comments.
going, we're good, we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're good.
no thanks, bro.
Well, going through many of the Facebook comments in regards of the topic, one group, Transformers Liberated, many of the comments saying, if they can straighten out distribution of their sub brands like Mega Constructs, then good. And also says it means Mattel products will now come with fewer accessories, countless released, and figures with the same mold but different paint being sold as 2 separate characters.
I can't really comment.
Let me clue you in on the world that is die-cast collecting.
No kidding.
Isn't die-cast collecting kind of a little old now since it's been kind of discontinued in Transformers?
No, I still do diecast and Transformers. Diecast is still a thing. It's just
I haven't seen it that much.
No, mentioning
it's hard to come by now, and it's more
colored,
The only die-cast metal-related thing I have is that Transformers knockoff of Dark of the Moon Ironhide. Since the chest is all die-cast metal.
cool. That's cool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, when I said die-cast, I meant
wonderful thing
die-cast cars or the die-cast
I
collection.
love about the China stuff. They try and sometimes place a little bit of die-cast metal here and there for their first release, their very first time ever making a knockoff. The knockoff Optimus Prime's knee guards right here would be actually die-cast metal.
Well, that's the origin of diecast and Transformers. It's because it's mimicking those diecast toys and planes and
except in
trucks and
Bayverse
things like
and
that.
Studio Series.
Yeah, I've
so
written in my reviews several times because I buy reissues whenever they do a G1 guy. I understand the tactile appeal of picking up a robot and having it be cold to the touch because it's metal. There is something to that.
Also, speaking of reissues in the through the Ground Bridge, we have Cosmos and the Galaxy Shuttle getting re-released.
Oh yeah, and Ramjet, the who previously couldn't get off of Amazon.
Yes, I am extremely excited to get Ramjet because Ramjet and Dirge's 2-pack was the most elusive thing to even try and see or buy.
And Origin Bumblebee apparently is being reissued too, presumably to go with Wheeljack since he fits in.
I'm guessing it might be a little more different. I'm guessing they might maybe microsize them possibly.
Basically, they made an entire wave that's almost all the stuff that was hard to get before. They're just doing a whole wave that's basically
They're
just a
trying to
mulligan.
give the people something finally. And there's Menasor. And not to mention, speaking of Menasor, G2 Breakdown is going to be a part of this entire thing. So we'll have 3 limbs, and well, the last one's Breakneck. We need basically.
That looks like some shiny diecast.
Yeah.
Nice.
Jeez.
Any
And
word on
that's
a
the
Cosmos
MP
re-release?
one, correct, Mr. Magnus?
Yeah. Well, that was one of the pipeline reveals during SDCC. So
Oh, is
we
it?
haven't seen images of it, but they announced that's in a coming wave of Legacy. They're just
Is it? Okay.
yeah, it's not going to be like in Velocitron packaging. It's going to be in Legacy packaging, but it's otherwise the same figure or like minimal changes.
Because
Also,
I
I
think
need
the
to
whole
ask you guys, because I'm going on this grill trying to find characters. Does anybody know if the Sandstorm from Legacy is good? Because I haven't seen any reviews on it really that much.
Mr. Magnus just picked up a Sandstorm last week.
I recall
Have
that.
not opened them yet.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's a repaint of Ramjet, and Ramjet's very good. So
Ramjet's good. I'm just hoping they do the face a little better at least.
well, you
Maybe
don't
make
like
it
him being
brighter.
like
I don't like his dark face. I prefer lighter, basically,
Oh.
at least. And well, we need Thrust definitely to come up next.
You don't like his
Thrust,
dark?
I think, was a lot more elusive.
I'm like, I thought it. I'm like, I'm letting it go. I'm
Nope.
letting it go.
Nope.
Also,
Don't.
speaking of the San
Don't.
Diego Comic-Con,
You're a bigger man, but I'm only 5'8". I'll catch it.
I'm questioning, are they going to reissue Ratchet and Ironhead's molds into Soundwave and Sound Blaster? Because, well, I mean, it might honestly make sense.
no plans as of yet.
Because I had this guy, I got him mint in box, not in box, I got him mint with Buzzsaw. I just placed him upstairs. And basically, I told myself, I'm going to get Soundwave, and I need to get Soundwave fast before he starts getting more elusive.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Because right
RJ.
now, it appears as is with the new stuff that's been coming out, a lot more people in my trying to collecting Cybertronian alt modes, like, for an instance, warforcybertron, the original stuff for 2011, all that stuff starting to become more expensive and harder to get, followed by Siege.
Actually, I guess I would throw that question to you, Impactor, in terms of like your age range and people that you've connected with online. Which Transformer line are they really aiming to collect?
Well, with the people I've met, basically, mainly it's either to collect the new line, try and collect every character that's G1 accurate, or try and go back into animated or Prime. For me, I was always either a Prime or animated kid. My mom got me every DVD, and I mean every DVD, to watch Prime and animated. Well, not animated, I had to search it up on my own for stuff, for videos and everything. But every DVD for Prime, I basically had and I watched.
Nice.
And Armada. I think I'll try and maybe get some of the Armada stuff. I'm not sure about it. I think the only one I have my eyes set on is Armada, Starscream, and Megs.
I've heard they're all pretty good figures. I don't really have the Armada guys myself, at least not the new ones. I mean,
What I've heard from everybody is that Armada Megatron's the most expensivest thing out there, even though he's good and bad.
mm-hmm.
Like, he has everything, yes, but like, I mean, pricing him for $50 when he's not like a little bad, but here and there, you're better off trying to wait for him to go into clearance at Walmart. Believe it or not, at my Walmart still that I go to, there is still a Fallen and a Rise of the Beast Primal still there.
Oh yeah, Rise of the Beast figures. Yeah, those didn't do too well, I don't think.
Yeah, no.
Well, people are trying to find the Transformers Studio Series Primal. That thing has been going everywhere.
I had the chance to get one at TFCon too. I just focused on other stuff.
Well, RG Eagle says,
I'm not focusing on that stuff.
RG Eagle says when you cut out the competition when you cut the competition out of the equation by Hasbro buying Mattel, that diminishes the quality. My Masters of the Universe and Hot Wheels will be affected.
Yeah.
Toy Warp, what do you have there?
Well, it's something I've been wanting to show for a little while, but it was always in the case.
That's one I need.
Yeah, but check this out. Even 12 years later, he still works.
Oh, that is an impressively bright light.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
I've never replaced the battery or anything in that.
Nice.
That's
You might want to at least check for any decay of rust. You don't want you don't want Grimlock to turn an
I
Ironhide.
feel like you could use that as a flashlight in the woods.
Yeah,
I'm guessing
it's bright.
Mhm.
But this is the fall Cybertron 2012. It's one of the few things in the cases that aren't
Sandstorm. Wait, you just opened him?
G1.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
I was thinking about that Grimlock, and I'm like, if they do them again in the Gamer Edition stuff they're doing for War for Cybertron now, they'd be hard pressed to outdo that
Solid,
guy because he
heavy.
definitely wouldn't have a knight. He wouldn't have a light in his mouth because I don't really do that anymore.
Don't they?
Though, no, not generally. Well, Knight
No
Rider's
gimmicks.
supposed to have lights and sounds, but that's a rarity.
Mhm.
That's right. Yeah.
That's an extreme rarity ever
That
since
really
Revenge of the
surprises
Fallen.
me.
Yeah. Well, the costs of materials go up. They try to keep the budget down. It seems like gimmicks were the first thing to go. Things
Yeah.
don't really shoot missiles or make lights or sounds anymore. At least not in the
Mhm.
main line.
Well, I mean,
That's
at least
right.
we then don't lose our missiles, at least. Though our blast
Yeah, fair.
effects will clearly easily lose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Arjun-
to talk like all these new Armada figures they're doing. The old ones from back in the day, the thing was they were loaded with gimmicks, but they weren't very articulated. Like, Megatron had lights and sounds and a bunch of traps on him and a little shiv in his hand, but he didn't have knees. So the one they just put out in Legacy doesn't do any of those things, but he has knees now in modern articulation. So it's it's a trade-off.
Yeah. These days it's all about articulation.
Yeah.
And also to put in Demolishers, if anything, one of the only ones that I've seen in stop motions at least do well.
Yeah.
Basically for posability. And there's this YouTuber who's been recreating scenes from Armada basically with what he has. Like he'll use for I forget what his name is. Who's the green bulldozer guy? I forget what his name was in Armada.
Scavenger.
Scavenger basically he took Impactor with Grapples' claw hand and turned him into Scavenger as basically the short term since Scavenger isn't an easy toy to get, not to mention not posable. So he used what he had basically, and he used Demolisher in there.
Anthony, funny you should mention that about the Megatron knees. Since the market is going more toward adult collectors, I find a correlation in between all this new stuff that you guys are buying and just action figures. The articulation is really all that matters. I kind of feel like, aren't we missing play value from just articulation coming from, you saying like Megatron had all the traps. I remember I bought my kid back when Armada came out, Armada Prime. He had lights. He had all sorts of nifty gimmicks on him. What's to be said about the market when you're losing all those gimmicks like that just for articulation?
Yeah, you're not the only person to think that. There's a lot of people who do wish that they would. I think the quote is shoot a damn missile sometimes instead of just have joints. Like, because they did a new Armada Prime, no lights, no sounds. But when he's in his big combine mode, he's not a brick anymore. You can move the big combine guy. For some people, that's what they want to do. They want to pose him and put him on a shelf and take photos. But some people like the gimmicks. I kind of like the gimmicks.
I like the gimmicks.
Yeah. I guess there's enough people just want articulation that that's what they're sticking to. But I've heard plenty of people say they do wish that some of these gimmicks would come back.
I think that's the end of the market that collects baby dolls. I mean, action figures.
Yeah.
Hey, Shiba Kobe. Shiba Kobe says, I'm here, gang. Pardon me while I unload from a massive Costco run.
Oh, right on, Costco run.
Oh, of course.
And you made
Shiba
it.
must
Thanks
have
for
like
making
a
it.
huge family or something, because man, she is at Costco
Every
on
week?
the regular.
Every week.
Yep.
May I ask a quick question for you guys?
Of course.
So my mother figure over here, well, she's now not here anymore. She asked me if you guys were heading to the Tri-State Comic-Con at all.
Where and when is that?
I'm kind of trying to remember. It's in my state. It's in Harrisburg at the Harrisburg Farm Show.
See, being a dealer is a bit of an addiction itself, ironically. So I'm like, if I don't have a table there and I'm not making money, I'm probably not going.
Yeah, I
For me,
found it very
basically,
appealing.
For me, I'm happy to know that have you guys ever heard of a place called Dimensions Comics?
Dimensions
No.
Comics. Mm-mm.
So it's this comic book shop that has like it's Dimension X, basically. My mom just gave me a reminder. So it's this comic book shop. There's multiple stores around. There, like some are placed in each area. There's one in Texas, one in like Washington. It's a comic book store, and well, I know the guy because he used to be in a mall basically, and while the mall was getting closer, they had to move out. And they moved it quite conveniently right next to my area. Basically, they at least are 2 miles away from my house. And it's like hell, I could walk there if I wanted, basically.
Right on.
And then there's a Lego store in walking distance. It's at least a half a mile away from my house. I don't get why I keep getting lucky because they sell a bunch of good Transformers there.
That's cool. Right on.
Not to mention they price their stuff a little expensive, but not that much because well, every time they get a 86 Magnus, the thing is gone within a day. Because they price the thing for 150 or 120 sometimes if you have the discount. And
I mean, it sounds like a cool store to check out at whoever is in your area.
Well, hey, have you ever
Yeah,
in
and check
my
out the
area,
farm show
try and
in
check 'em out.
Harrisburg.
Yeah, the only reason I'm ever going to PA is to see SS United States before they scrap her reefer this year. So that'd be the only reason I go to PA.
And speaking of comic book stores, we should mention a huge shout out to our sponsor, Gotham Central Comics. Provided us with comics and trading cards for TFCon and for upcoming streams. So we always got to remember to give them a shout out because they are located in Mississauga, Ontario, in a cool comic store, which Deceptikitty was, kindly enough to talk to the owner and connect us with them.
Yeah. Gotham Central Comics, Mississauga. Yeah. He's awesome. And it's an awesome comic book store. They have so much stuff and so many cool Transformer stuff. Yeah. Like they have all kinds of statues and toys and especially the comics, right? The new comics and Skybound comics.
With our Dimension X, we usually get ourselves a playlist and then we get each comic week basically every day on Wednesday. And have you guys seen the Skybound cover for issue whatever number Starscream it appears as is very weakened?
Oh, there's some new issues that came out. I'm a couple issues behind.
Yeah, everybody. By the way,
sorry,
Skybound Transformers number 10. It's very good. Everybody should read it. It's about Beachcomber. It's his story in this universe. It's a spotlight on him.
Very cool.
Yeah, there's a lot more to it. If you like, there's a little bit of Golden Lagoon in there. It's not a rip off of that, but they definitely watched it in terms of coming up with what his whole deal is.
Yeah, so he's still a hippie. Okay.
Yeah,
I love it. Beachcomber, it's great.
My dad and I were talking about with how we see everything. My dad and I told each other basically they're going to need to do at least a show on this because they brought back 2D animation for a little bit of Earthspark when they were doing the small cutscenes with the kids and their dad. And while 2D animation is a lot of money, yes, but it's worth it in the long run.
Yeah, but they don't. 2D animation these days is not done how it used to be done. It's done with like Toon Boom or
but whoever
programs.
did G1 inspired scenes with Elita 1, Prime, and Bumblebee definitely deserves a raise for that entire episode.
I mean, they did X-Men 97. They should do G1 1988, 89. What's the year there wasn't a show for the first time?
I believe 88.
Yeah. Okay. There. Transformers 88.
Well,
actually, 88 or 89.
What my dad and I were talking about is
5.
Skybound has created a good following of fans and everything that they could really take the power and turn it into a show. Since everybody has wanted a new 80s styled show.
Yeah, Skybound would be a good template.
Yeah, exactly.
And not to mention, 100%. Once I collect every character for Skybound, I'm 100% doing everything in stop motion. The greatest gonna take me a while.
If Skybound does well enough, it's not out of this world that they could do a cartoon based on it.
They got Robert Kirkman as the showrunner of the whole thing, and how much
He's got
Walking Dead
Invincible.
happened, Invincible happened. Yeah,
Exactly.
he could probably make it happen.
Could you imagine Invincible and Transformers?
Yeah, I wonder
Oh,
how they
goodness.
adapt it, because you have Void Rivals running parallel to it, telling its own Transformers thing. I'd like to see them do both at the same time.
And while we're still questioning on everything in Void Rival, I haven't read into really that much of Void Rivals or G.I. Joe. I just mainly try and find the bloopers of the Transformers in them. I'm just more there for the Transformers. I mean, I'm a G.I. Joe fan. It's just I'm not into it that much.
To be
Void
honest, I'm in
Rivals
it
is
for
good.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm in it for the Transformers, but I found I like Void Rivals better than the Transformers. Yeah.
I don't know
We're
if I like
still
it better.
figuring out what Springer's
I'm more.
update is.
It's intriguing me more. Like, of course, like there's nothing better than Transformers except for Transformers #1. But yeah, Void Rivals is really intriguing. Very intriguing.
I wonder if it's a coincidence or not that Void Rivals has very recently had Springer in a major role, like a bunch of issues in a row, and he's got that Studio Series figure that's about to come out. And were they doing synchronity on purpose?
Take a look at Mr. Magnus for a quick sec, because
look at that.
The
That's
cage
impressive.
actually does the cage perfectly melds in. Okay, I think that's going to be put on my list now. I have a list of like characters I write down that I eventually get. I put on either most needed.
Is that a
or
guy in
least
the back?
needed.
What is it?
Is that a guy riding in the back?
No. It's the winch.
Oh, the winch. Right?
Oh, nice.
Looked like a helmet from the side.
That's an
The winch,
impressive
if I'm
sandstorm.
correct, the winch is
Yeah,
connected
that's
to
awesome.
Yeah.
the cage, if I'm correct. Mr.
I like
Magnus,
how,
am I
like,
correct that's connected to it.
Yeah. I like how pleasantly toyish the whole thing looks.
Mhm.
The ankle tilts need a little help, but like the vehicle mode, they did perfect.
No,
And
a lack of
the
ankle
help.
tilts never hurt nobody.
Well, I mean, the ankle tilt's perfect. It's just how it looks. It looks so weird. It looks like this, basically. At that point.
Right.
Also, I finally finished updating my custom Megatron.
Oh,
I like the shiny sticker. Yeah.
Mhm.
I repainted
right
him
on.
completely.
Oh,
And
cool.
well, this one came in complete, so I just took my Broken Times Return Megatron's fusion cannon and well gave it to him. And surprisingly, it works actually in transformation form with the sword.
Yeah, I didn't even notice it was the wrong one until you pointed it out, because it blends really
And
well.
also because of childhood, I stuffed a model clay inside of it, so you might see like a small purple or pink effect in it.
Yeah, just call it the internal glow.
It's more in style to like Cyberverse's take on Megatron. And while in the G1/Baver stop motion, I'm using this as my main Megatron, and I'm using Gamer Edition Megatron as the following, aka Megatronus. So I just stripped all of his like main parts off, and like this part that was really in the fusion cannon.
So
Also,
as
do
we-
you guys want? Oh, sorry.
I was going to say as we swing, or actually, Impactor, go ahead, and then I'll go back to my comment.
Do you guys want to see the preview for this thing? Because I'm telling you, I spent good time because I took a break. I sadly talked back on my dad, so I had to lose my tablet. Good lesson. And so basically, a good break usually gets me back into the mood, and so I did a very nice smooth stop motion.
Right on, back in the game, eh? Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
let's see what you have.
Alrighty.
Yeah, these are always impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Where did he go? Oh, wait, I get it, because it's the scene from Revenge of the Fallen, so he teleported away. I like how I immediately recognize what this is after
Mhm.
after a second. Now, are you going to do the full combination? Let's wait and see.
Oh, let's see how that works.
Yeah, do you have somebody standing in for Jolt? Let's see. Oh, yeah, he's got the Matrix.
What?
Oh, is that all so
I
far?
couldn't hear you guys. The thing disconnected. So it played through my headphones basically the entire scene. But what did you guys think?
That's awesome.
I Are you gonna do the full combination sequence? Or are you gonna try to do
Yes,
that?
yeah, that's
Okay.
why basically I have parts of Six Gun on here. So tomorrow morning, basically, I will finish the stop motion. Well, you guys will get to see it either on YouTube or basically when I come back on here next week.
This is a good way to preview it because it's on a screen, so the quality is legible but not perfect. So then we get to see the proper one on YouTube.
Yeah.
Not to mention, I believe I'm one of the very first people to do all G1.
Yeah. How did you get the matrix to float? I couldn't really see it this resolution.
So
because it floated
what
up
I
and he
did
grabbed it.
So what I did was in the photo. So I took Megatron here basically.
Yeah.
And I took the photo, and well, I had a Lego chain connected to the matrix. And so I took the photo, erased the chain because, well, if I erased it, it'd delete basically where it was and show the page before it. So I just copied and pasted the page that didn't have anything in there, so I could then erase and then, well, delete the photo because it would then look like the thing is flashing back off and on, and that would be weird. And so then give the floating effect.
Yeah, it looked pretty convincing from here.
Yeah, awesome.
But yeah, it's gonna be cool. Especially, I really also. Who do you think should? Who do you think should have survived in the Bayverse? For me, it's honestly Ironhide or
Jazz.
Jazz, absolutely. Jazz didn't get enough time to do anything.
Jazz.
Mr. Magnus, give me your opinion on why none of them should have survived.
Here we go.
Because Bayverse is absolute trash.
Yeah, that's a valid opinion.
I grew up with the Bayverse, so don't blame me. I like it.
It's my opinion, but yes.
The Cybertronic Space Cube. No, wait, not Cybertronic Space Cube. What was it called?
The
Allspark. Right.
Allspark. Kind of a reasonable death. Also, would you believe actually that everybody from Dark of the Moon, besides Q and Ironhide, actually survived? Actually,
I believe it.
In the Transformers kill cards, basically, when they released images and they were selling the kill cards themselves, basically. If you guys ever heard of a YouTuber named Trans Theories, he did this. He did this entire theory video, and well, actually, he did the video on all the cards, basically. And well, we never knew until later, basically, that the cards showed us who were alive and who were dead. And well, I'm still shocked that the twins survived. They actually have their two cards basically appearing in the kill cards, and they are not red X'd. Sideswipe is not red X'd. Dino is not red X'd. Roadbuster and Topspin aren't red X'd. And well, Leadfoot was first to die, and within a week basically. He first died in a week, and then Ratchet died in a week later. Basically, only giving Cemetery Wins its kill count to be 2, and that's why they still haven't killed any Decepticons.
Is this what is this a card game?
No, it's
not a card game. You remember in Bayverse when the guy, whoever his name is, puts
Harold
the
Attinger.
cards basically, on the table basically. Those cards showed basically who was alive and who was dead.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Beginning of Age of Extinction. Right. Fraser has a deck of cards.
Right.
To tell us who was here or who was not. And also,
you're muted, Toy Warp.
There's a theory going around that when Volleyball Bot is still Topspin, actually, because, well, he did a memorial since Leadfoot died, and, well, they were all close together as wreckers.
Yeah, I've heard that theory.
And that Rodrigo, as in the character that Seymour Simmons said to go and grab, there's a theory that he's the reincarnation of Roadbuster, since, well, Rodrigo I forget what type of term it is, basically, is translated into the Roadbuster, I think, from what I heard from another YouTuber.
I love the fact that we all just refer to him as Fraser. I refer to him as Evil Fraser, but yeah.
It's easy cultural shorthand. That's a lot faster than any other way of identifying that man.
Toss salad and ham eggs, yeah.
I love that show.
I've seen at least one edit where, like, it's the bit in Age of Extinction where he gets shot and killed, and then they just play.
Also, there's a funny meme that there's this YouTuber who did this entire stop motion meme. So you know where a Hot Rod basically is in the way of trying to stop Prime from killing Megatron and all that. He edits in the bald guy from AOE saying, "Just hit him, just hit him," when they were in the car. Just giving the definition. We don't care about Hot Rod. Just get rid of him.
Some of us do.
Mhm.
I mean,
No,
I'm
it's-
happy with Hot Rod, but he stole our generation from us.
Now let's swing back to our main topic.
That could be a whole episode.
Yeah.
So we swing back to our main topic of Hasbro possibly buying out Mattel. Toro's dying. And
I can hear Anthony boiling. I can hear it. I can hear it.
We all know it's an infinite laugh track at this point.
Oh, I'm
Actually,
sorry.
well, let's just pause for a second. Go over back to Mr. Magnus.
Even
What?
remotes, okay, yeah.
Oh my God, a gimmick.
Exactly. What a friggin' winch gimmick, and the
Yeah.
propeller spins.
Oh, cool.
I'm telling
But you know what?
That's
That Sandstorm is more impressive than that Blitzwing that came out maybe 2-3 years ago, where it's like out of, especially for a triple changer, because the Blitzwing 2 out of the 3 modes, I believe it was the robot mode and the tank mode, were impressive, but the jet was kind of questionable. Whereas looking at the Sandstorm, like all 3 modes are pretty impressive.
And he's got a
Pretty
winch.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he's got that winch, and it's removable.
it makes him perfect.
It just
Basically.
10 millimeter peg. You can put them on anybody.
Amazing. That's
I
awesome.
think I might
5
have
millimeter.
to put him in my Bumblebee movie stop motions
Nice.
because I've been recently
Nice.
releasing on my channel a bunch of
that's
Bumblebee movies.
The roll cage. That's the roll cage that was on the Doom Buggy.
Nice.
Goodness, that's
Oh,
perfect.
That's cool.
You could fit a Ravage in there.
I was just thinking.
Oh, perfect.
I wonder if
Perfect
Ravage
scene.
will fit.
Get
Let me
Hound
see.
and Mirage together and just recreate that scene. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I
Oh,
actually
that
have that
Ravage
in my
happened.
MP set.
Oh, you
That
do?
scene is set up there.
I think
Awesome,
you would
awesome.
have to have a very much micro Ravage to fit in that crate. The thing would it'd have to be super small. It'd have to be like the Hot Wheels Optimus, basically.
You'd have to be like the world's smallest Ravage.
Yeah.
Pretty
We would-
much so.
We've seen it. It's frightening to witness.
Will my little baby Ravage fit in there?
Oh, let's see.
Yeah, cutesy.
Maybe.
Oh, nice.
Maybe.
It's the Robot Heroes version.
I swear. What an irony. Like, there's meowing while he's showing his Ravage.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ravage.
You know,
Oh,
funny
nice.
story.
There
with
we go.
this.
I like that it's a
Um,
Bumblebee Ravage.
And there's the key.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the one.
Hound comes with the key.
Nice.
Oh yes.
Is that the
And his-
Ravage that came with the Hound?
No, that's Bumblebee.
No, this is the Bumblebee Ravage.
Why am I hearing like
That's
faded
awesome.
But-
cat meows?
I don't know. It's not me.
That's how they sit in the.
Oh,
Perfect.
Perfect.
I say
Yeah.
perfect.
now some of the comments related to our main topic.
Somebody's
more
on topic.
more on Transformers Limited. Some of the comments were to all are one. Meaning once all these companies are going to buy each other out, here comes the gummy weapons. The next Titan class figure will be Barbie Dreamhouse, and now I can't unthink that.
Hey.
Well,
Somebody get a
this
kick out
guy
of
could
that.
possibly break the world record. It might break the Unicron because, well, there are quite very tall Barbie dream houses out there because my siblings have owned so many and they have gotten destroyed.
That's true. It's a very big scale.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty much this could break. I don't want to see that. I'd much prefer Metroplex. And also, does anybody recall ever seeing a Simpsons Transformers collaboration episode?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
it
it wasn't
was
the
one of the-
episode.
one of the-
It was just the opening.
Yeah, the bumper there.
It was it was a Christmas basically theme.
It was a
basically,
Treehouse of
Barbie-
Horror.
For basically what happens is well, Bart buys a toy and it's a truck and transforms into a Barbie car.
Oh yeah, there was
Something
that.
from Barbie I would really like to see because I actually have it. It's like an 8-foot, I'd say it's probably about a 6-foot long motorhome. It's actually a GMC motorhome. That would be badass to have as
Wow.
a Transformer.
Yeah.
Well, maybe at least in a different color
Space
scheme. If
Winnebago.
anything, at that point, that has to be transit, basically. because transit's a very long vehicle.
Oh yeah,
totally.
collaborative Barbie transit.
Yeah,
Perfect.
RJ Eagle made a good point. Is that like if Hasbro was to take on Mattel, they'd be spread pretty thin. Like as it is, Hasbro had to lay people off because of whatever mismanagement or not being able to solve the problem with their Black Panther 2 toys. So I can see
is that because I remember you were mentioning like when we spoke about the layoffs before, but I didn't know it was connected to the Black Panther 2 toys.
Well, I'm not specific. It's not specifically connected to that, but like the amount of things that ended up in Ross and Ollie's and things that had to go up on clearance because the each whatever wave, they weren't managed properly, they weren't distributed properly, or they could have been done better. So yeah, Hasbro was struggling even though they had that large of a workforce. So if they were going to take on Mattel, to take on a new company and to try to keep up that same steam while having new management, there's going to be definitely a lot of brands that are going to go under, or the quality of the toy is going to go down. Yeah, for sure.
And I don't want to see a Cars Transformer. I do not want to see Lightning McQueen turning into a car.
I would love more crossovers. The more crossovers, the better, but not at the cost of quality.
Yes, I agree with the crossovers. Definitely the old crossovers. Some of them are very good, I do have to say myself. Mainly in the DC and like Marvel crossovers. The only crossover I will never like is the Iron Man crossover, but the Wolverine crossover I always say reigns superior.
I got the Turtles one here. It's pretty good.
That's a cool
I
one,
haven't seen the Turtles ones yet, and that actually looks quite bad.
Yeah.
Not bad, good.
He has a lot going on. He has like 12 billion accessories, and they all stash somewhere on him. And it's new, so I don't have a lot of opinions yet, but there's a lot going on here. It's kind of pricey, but I feel like they put a lot into it, so it sort of justifies the cost. But the amount of stuff it does and has.
And that's Donatello, right?
Yes, Donatello. I just said Donatello out of nowhere. Yeah. I had to think of all the Turtles because I haven't watched any Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Leonardo has the swords, guys. Yeah. Donatello's the bow staff guy.
You're right.
You know,
I know it's been some time. I was gonna ask out of the four, did they do crossovers with the other three?
Well? You don't know how? Let me explain how this works. This is the Omni Turtle, because what you do is
you switch out each head like it shows each character.
He's got his head stashed back here.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, so you get 4 of them, and then you could complete this.
They want you to buy 4 of them, but what you can do is, I just got his backpack unclipped.
The bandana looks blue, so it's
I was wondering how that works.
Pop it off, and then put a different guy of your choice on.
Is it
this would be Donatello.
No, it's Michelangelo.
No, it's Donatello. It's just the one that I happen to grab, and then you take his belt buckle and you flip the logo around on it until you reach the D for Donatello.
More gimmicks.
This is a great gimmick.
That is a great gimmick.
He has his hit. There's a staff on him somewhere. I don't even remember where it's stashed.
Is there Michelangelo nunchucks?
Yeah, they're in his shoulder pads right now. You can just see them hiding right there.
Oh!
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah.
I have to say yes to that. Maybe I'll get one of them.
I swear he has an unfoldable battle staff somewhere. I just actually forget where it stashes in here. It's in here somewhere.
Kind of looks like something that would have came out of the original cartoon, honestly.
Yeah.
I honestly agree with you.
Netflix Ravage. Netflix Ravage does fit.
Oh, nice. He's a little cramped, but he fits.
That makes me want to buy him even more.
Oh, he's cramped.
I think Ravage would be much more better if he was put out of his misery than being in that cage.
Freaking sign says you don't bleed Energon if you want more crossovers.
I guess I bleed pizza sauce because I like this one. And I'm already Italian, so you know.
Speaking of pizza, I had some pizza for breakfast.
He bleeds the ooze.
Yeah,
the ooze.
I found his battle staff, so there we go, Donatello mode.
Nice.
He can do all the other ones, but I'll just leave it at that for demonstration purposes.
Totally.
And
rad.
he changes into the turtle van. That's why he's got all these parts on him.
That is very cool.
Yeah,
Reminds
and
me
like I
of
said,
Metal
that's,
parts former.
Yeah,
that looks like something that would come out of the original cartoon. Honestly,
It-
The
it
original
feels like it
cartoon
too.
got really wacky.
yeah.
Yeah.
This has a different hand feel than your standard Transformer. I know it's a Hasbro product, but if you told me Playmates made this instead, I would believe it.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to describe. Just different people obviously worked on this than the standard team.
Right.
But yeah, like the kit one looks good. I got Gigawatt over there. This guy's good. I'd like to see more of these. I really want to see them do a Simpsons one, just because I think that'd be fun.
Oh goodness, who do you want?
Just their Simpsons car.
Transformer?
Yeah,
Just Homer's
Who's
car.
becoming?
Yeah.
who
With the
is it?
broken
Is it gonna
antenna.
be is it gonna be Homer, Marge, Bart?
Oh, they did.
Lisa?
They did one with Ghostbusters too, with Ecto
Yeah.
1.
I don't have that one, but I heard he's
Maybe
pretty
they
good.
Might, just to make everything confusing, maybe they might turn Maggie, the little kid of the person themselves, basically into the car.
If you didn't get an Ecto 1, you can go to GothamCentral.com and pick it up online.
Oh,
Mm.
nice.
Ooh.
Well,
Yeah,
there
oh,
was
yeah.
there was
There-
that one RC that came out that almost looked
Ooh.
like that Simpsons version of Homer's
Homer.
concept car.
Yeah. So yeah, I forgot they did an Ecto colored Optimus on top of Ectotron. There he is.
I
Right.
forgot about that.
Yeah.
That was the
There's
35th
box.
35th anniversary.
Oops. The box is
Mhm.
a proton
Oh,
pack.
dope,
that is cool.
Yeah,
That is
that's
cool.
why-
that thing.
That's why it has the straps.
Oh my
So
god.
you could actually,
Oh
you
my
could have
goodness,
wore him.
that's cool.
You could have wore him like a proton pack.
That is cool.
Now, the real question
does it
is that
come with the
nuclear
proton
accelerator actually licensed this time?
licensed by
That point,
Hasbro from
creating a
the
nuclear
Ghostbusters
pack
company.
on the back at that point. And mix the Matrix leadership with a nuke. I don't know the qualities of
There's the
survival.
original toy company.
Wait,
Oh,
maybe
Kenner.
that's actually how you
Kenner had
create
the
a
original
Foxtron.
licensing for Ghostbusters.
And Hasbro owns Kenner now. Funny enough.
Dope.
Yay,
Of
tilallareone.
Well, that's how we got Beast Wars, because they handed it over to Kenner and we're like, listen, we don't know what to do right now. You do something with this. And then Kenner made Beast Wars, and the rest is history.
I'm at least thankful they continued on Beast Wars Megatron being Beast Wars Megatron RID, and it wasn't G1 Megatron, because I think this would have slaughtered his history of Megatron.
Yeah, I like when it's a different guy.
Freakenstein says, "Let's go crazy and do the Kool-Aid Man."
So you're I would sure, let's do that. I want to see how they engineer
What
something
is
that
that
solid.
for my question?
Well, you know what? I would say, I mean, since we've already spoken on the Hasbro Mattel, I would say the last 14 minutes of the stream, we should just talk about like all possible crossovers that we know would probably never happen, but would be cool if it would happen. RJ Eagle saying, "I'm waiting for my Fred Flintstone car Transformer crossover," which Freakenstein also says the Jetsons.
Jetsons.
Yeah,
Both of those are
Cosmos
great.
is already there
Let me name out
almost.
three.
Those are obvious ones. Those should have been done a long time ago.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay, let's
three
name out-
crossovers. Impactor, name 3 crossovers you would like to see.
For me, in all honesty, it'd have to be what was it? It's a new Star Wars crossover for Darth Vader. A new one, because we need a new one. The thing is old and I dislike it.
Yeah, true. Some of
And-
them were dodgy.
Mm.
Another crossover 100% would be a Scooby-Doo crossover.
Ooh.
Good one. Good one.
Mystery
Casey
Machine.
Kasem.
I missed a Mystery Machine, and maybe I'm guessing it'd be Shaggy and Scooby. It could be like the twins, basically, for the ice cream truck. It could be combined with both of them.
Oh yeah,
Shaggy, Cliff
Scooby,
Jumper.
Shaggy combined into the Mystery Machine. That's a good idea.
And
Some-
then the third one, just to place him out of nowhere, would be since he mentioned the guy mentioned the Flintstones, basically, as he said, Fred the Flintstone, the old maybe they'll do a steamroller Constructicon eventually. Maybe they can reissue it into more of the Flintstones' vehicle.
Well, it's funny when you mentioned Scooby-Doo. I'm thinking turn the Mystery Machine into a Target Master, and Shaggy and Scooby would be like the transforming guns.
Oh, So have like Fred
Target
as the
Masters.
mystery. We still need a character that's based off the mystery machine usually.
Mm.
How
Now,
usually almost every crossover is.
Now, Fair Courage, 3 things you would like to see as a crossover.
Well,
Freakenstein
Freakenstein said mine. One was for the first one. I told you, they did a comic. IDW did a Star Trek Transformers comic that
This
had a
is true.
transforming Enterprise. If they made that as a figure, I would buy it immediately. The
Mhm.
design exists.
100%.
Let me know
Yeah.
if I
No,
can share
no,
my
hold on,
tweet, 'cause I have a
Impactor.
meme.
No, hold on, Impactor. It's Fair's turn right now. So
If I-
Fair has
I
2
got a
more.
meme. Let me search it up quickly so I can show
Let,
later.
let me get obscure and say I want a Metroid crossover that changes into Samus's starship. I don't think that's ever going to happen, but I can dream. That's more likely. There's like 70 other Nintendo things they do before that. You know what? Let me stick with that. Let's do a Splatoon transformer that changes from a squid to a robot.
And over in the comments, Freakenstein says a crossover with Looney Tunes.
Okay, but what would the vehicle be? Is there an iconic Looney Tunes vehicle?
Not that I know of, but imagine Daffy, Bugs, and Sylvester being like transformable figures. Charlie C says Skeletor painted MP Megatron with a skull face.
What
I've
about?
seen that.
I
Somebody
mean,
did that as a custom, yeah.
come on, let me just grab this guy. They just did this very nice new bludgeon figure. Just repaint him. There you go. You got your Masters of the Universe crossover. Just put him in Skeletor colors.
Totally.
Toy Warp, three crossovers you would like to see.
Well, I think the first one's going to be real easy. It's the Bigfoot line.
Guys,
it would be
Jess
really
just
cool.
came in with a good one. She said a Gremlins crossover that changes from a gremlin into a Kentucky Harvester.
At that point, we're getting into some like Gem and the Hologram stuff right there.
Why not do that? They have the rights to that too.
Yeah.
That is true.
Over to Toy Warp. So 3. So you mentioned Bigfoot.
Bigfoot, which would be really cool because then you could have like a whole line of good guys and bad guys. Again, like the WWE, or back then it was WWF wrestling guys. They were Bigfoot would be the good guy, and Gravedigger could be the leader of the bad guys. I'm gonna go with stick with the '80s and Turbo Teen.
We've all seen the GIF. I've seen the GIF.
We've all tried to forget that existed.
Yeah.
Did I miss something?
Yeah, we have, but it still lives on.
Oh,
I guess I'm.
we've all seen what it looks like when he changes into the car because it gets circled around a lot, and we're just like, oh,
Yeah, it's disturbing. Okay, one more Toy Warp. One more Toy Warp.
One more.
If I could do it, I would. God damn it! But and then an easy another car based one from the '80s, no brainer Mask.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
definitely.
The mask.
I think they have the rights to that too because
They
it was
do,
in the
because
it was in
Kenner.
yeah, so they could make that happen.
We should
Just
have
repaint-
Freakenstein.
Repaint
sorry,
a
go ahead.
Repaint a long-nosed movie Optimus into the Rhino. Is that the name of the truck?
Yep.
Yeah, there you go.
Or some
Easy-
Looney Tunes
easy
crossovers.
repaint.
I forgot about bringing those in. I'm starting to remember all my '80s cartoons.
Yeah, Freakenstein says, yeah, but Coyote would be a rock. Mr. Magnus, 3 crossovers you would like to see.
Airwolf,
Oh,
the Dukes of Hazzard. You could get Roscoe's car, Boss Hogg's Cadillac, the General, Daisy's Jeep.
truck.
Yep, Jesse's truck, Cooter's tow truck. There's a whole 6-bot line right there. And Starsky and Hutch.
Nice. Well, it's funny you mentioned Starsky and Hutch because I'm thinking for Dukes of Hazzard, out of all the vehicles you mentioned, there's one that would be an exclusive. And I'm thinking if you could remember which that vehicle is.
An exclusive to the Dukes of Hazzard.
Yeah. And it was only in one episode, I believe.
Oh,
now you're getting
that
obscure.
beat the General.
Oh, God, I have no idea.
It's Daisy's yellow car that Bo and Luke destroyed.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, which is why
That's
she got the Jeep. Yes.
That's why she got the Jeep. Yeah.
So that would be the exclusive
episode, though.
Wasn't it a couple?
That'd be the
I
new
just
San
remembered
Diego
in the one
Comic-Con
where they drove it over the
exclusive.
cliff.
Over the cliff.
And she was like, she was just upset.
73 Plymouth Satellite.
That's the new San Diego Comic-Con Transformers Rest in Peace Cliff Jumper, except
Daisy Duke's car, yeah.
Cadillac.
I thought you were going to say the one car
I
that
just
beat
didn't
the
want to
general.
repeat, but I would be totally on board with the Star Trek ones too.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to do a repeat, so I was sitting there racking my brain what else would be a cool one, and I just kind of looked around the room. And of course, like I said, my school mascot is the Rebel Man and everything. So, but when I went to school, we actually flew Rebel flags.
Yeah.
And so I turned around, I saw that, and I was like, okay, so Dukes of Hazzard would be a real good one. Starsky and Hutch. Every time I think about Dukes of Hazzard, I think of Starsky and Hutch because they came on one after the other whenever I was a kid.
Cool.
It was Dukes of Hazzard, and then Starsky and Hutch, and then Chips.
Chips. Wow,
And
yes.
Chips would be all right, but I mean, you know, we've already got Groove, so I mean that's all it is.
That's all it is.
My dad,
Two
every
grooves.
Saturday
We get two grooves, and
my
we've
dad
got
was
Chips.
G.I.
You know, it's
Joe and Transformers, and then I think Power Rangers.
Oh yeah, you know what? If they're not going to do anything else with Power Rangers, do a dang Transformers mashup. That's
Yeah,
easy. They already
time.
have the mechs. They're halfway there. Some of them do
Ooh,
just operate as Transformers.
For your courage, after we're done talking about all this, I have a video that I forgot. Basically, it's a meme. Basically, it's a random Transformers it's these Transformers that get the weirdest transformations on Earth. But like, what if they were all in G1? And I will show you guys this because it involves the USS Enterprise.
And Freaking Side makes a good point. The giant made spaceship from Spaceballs would be an easy thing.
Oh,
She's gone from suck to blow.
They call it a Transformer.
They do have a generic Lego version of that does transform.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a
Ooh.
Japanese,
From
it's a
Spaceball
Japanese
1?
version. Yeah, it's like 14 inches tall whenever she's in robot mode.
Yes.
Oh,
He's
nice.
gone to plaid.
That's right.
Freakenstein also mentions
But you
Disney
can also
guard
do-
posts.
You can also do the Winnebago with wings, you know. That would be an awesome little
Totally.
transform right along with it.
Exactly.
Oh,
That's an easy one
no.
right there.
There's a Rodimus Prime retool because there's already the Space Winnebago.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Yep.
no, thank you, please.
Just
Well.
invasion stuff.
Now over to
If I ever
Deceptikitty.
did-
Yep. Now over to Deceptikitty. Three things you would like to see as a Transformers crossover.
Three things only because I like these franchises very much, and we're doing something arbitrary as opposed to seeing this in a Mattel merger. I would say Akira being one of my favorite animes.
Oh,
That-
yeah.
That Kaneda
Pure
bike.
bike.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Totally.
Bike.
Yep.
Yeah, and you can go all out with some of that like mechanoid, like weird organic stuff happening there. Who knows how far that could go. Another thing is Ghost in the Shell, like that's all over cybernetic, all over the place. And the Tachikomas would be a cool transformer. And just because I like it so much, Legend of Galactic Heroes. This is a space opera that takes place in the future, and it could end up that maybe they end up in like a Void Rivals type of situation where they end up coming across this alien life form.
And speaking of crossovers, I now remembered I forgot to also add in possibilities of Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball Z was a Mattel thing, so that would be awesome if there was a Mattel
Interesting.
merger.
Oh, so
Yeah.
so if Hasbro does buy Mattel, then they can
Yeah.
just take on. Though it's still sad that the writers
Capsule
for
Corp
Dragon Ball Z
Transformers.
died.
There's enough.
That's really
shut your
unfortunate. Akira
mouth.
Toriyama.
Yeah, there's enough capsule vehicles that they could use as a source material that they could make a
Totally.
I don't
Transformer
want anyone
too.
getting excited about this merger, okay?
No, it's not really happening. It's not actually happening. Oh, another
These are
one would be
theories.
Battlestar Galactica.
Oh,
that's
yes.
an easy
Mattel
one.
Yeah.
Everybody always says the Siege Seekers look a lot like the Cylon Raiders, so a retool would be
Definitely,
very
yeah.
easy to do.
That's not far off.
Tron.
Tron would be
Ultron
awesome.
wouldn't be a bad idea. Just take some of the female Autobots as motorcycles and well.
Yeah, there's more than enough motorcycle formers in the last few years that they just pick whichever one looks the most like a Tron light cycle and do a retool, and you're already
Well,
there.
the only
Yeah.
one I know that they'd easily pick is basically not Dark of the Moon. Well, maybe actually Dark of the Moon Chromia or RC actually
Right,
for
right.
well
Mhm.
reasons.
Sure.
Or Transformers Prime RC, because those are pretty much the only RC motorcycles we got there. Perfect.
I said in my review of Legacy Chromia that her motorcycle mode already reminded me of a Tron light cycle because of some of the colors and
I
design
forgot about
choices.
Chromia.
Yeah.
Freakenstein mentions Dune. So actually, we were in the
One more.
last one more.
Teen
Oh, yeah.
Titans Go.
Oh gosh, yes.
Waffles.
Yes.
Waffles.
Waffles.
Yes.
Why Teen Titans Go and not regular Teen Titans? Wait, I'm confused.
I've
Yeah,
never watched an episode of Teen Titans Go, so I don't know.
It's silly, funny humor. I love the
Mhm.
show.
They took everybody from Teen Titans as voice actors and basically just transformed them into a kids show, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't remind me.
Without
But it's
Chromia.
funny. It actually
My
is
kids and I
very
both
funny.
are mad about that.
I'm not saying it's better than Teen Titans. Teen Titans is awesome. That nothing can top that. But
I
Teen
really
Titans
wish
Go,
they
it's
kept it
just so
going.
cleverly funny.
It is. It is.
Oh,
It
really?
is cleverly funny, but it's
Yeah.
just sad how they had to let go to. For me, I love the love story with Beast Boy and Terra. And it's so sad that they always have Terra die.
Oh,
in each
Terra! Oh
one.
my God! Yeah, Terra's a sad
Hard.
story. You don't like. It's not how it actually happens in the comic book in Teen Titans Go. Terra's such a sad story. Yo, I know.
For
Terra is a
each, no joke,
psycho.
each
In the
Terra.
comics, Terra is a psycho.
Yeah, that's like it's really like traumatic. Like how these
Oh my
kids are going
God.
through this. Yeah, it's
In
nuts.
each
Nuts.
like each universe for Terra, so the Young Justice, whatever universe for Teen Titans, and this it wasn't Teen Titans, but it was like the Justice something basically, the Young Justice. Terra dies the same fate as in Teen Titans, with the same ending of Slade basically manipulating her and everything. Like it's always they will go for that, and I haven't checked out the other universe that has Terra going. I just recently discovered some of these things.
So Freakenstein
Like
said
they messed up
Gremlins.
some stuff.
Gremlins would be cool if it turned from a Mogwai into a Gremlin.
Just fully inside out. One of those
Mhm.
complicated transformations.
Also,
Cool.
Spin, don't you have 3 favorites? I'm guessing. Well, 3 choices.
Let's see. A-Team Van would be one of them.
Oh yeah.
One that actually exists, which is a rare find. It's kind of funny. I found it. In a Heathcliff cartoon, there was the second part of the cartoon, the Cadillac Cats, and they had the Cadillac that transformed into like the little van and transformed into a boat. That toy actually exists somewhere, and like I'd have to look that up again, but it's a rare toy that exists somewhere, but it actually is a
Must
triple
hook
changing
Wilson.
toy. So let's see. Yeah, so between that, the 18 van, and what would my third one be? A third one. I'm not sure what the third one would be. I mean, they've done Kit now. So it's I'm not sure what a third one would be, but for sure the 18 van would be one of them.
That'd be awesome.
Mhm.
I would love for them to just make like a 80s TV combiner set. You see people do the
Ooh, that'd
artwork
be
for it all the
good.
time,
Mhm.
and it's the A-Team van, the Mystery Machine. Both of those are the legs, and then you have the General Lee and Kit as the arms, and then some other big something in the center. But I can't remember what all
do
the
a
5.
custom actually of Kit
That would be cool.
actually, out of the Power of the Primes Jazz maybe. I could maybe paint him up black and actually try and maybe do some weird sculpting and try and make him look more like Kit.
Give her, dude.
I think I've seen something to that effect. I think it's like a CGI rendering or something, but I remember Ecto-1 being one of the legs.
Mhm.
Yeah, I remember seeing something to that effect.
And since we have like a few more minutes left, may I show you guys the meme that I found of the USS Enterprise as a transformer?
Oh, there you go.
Mhm.
All right, I am going to present. Let me just share screen and right.
Oh, Freakenstein says Thunderbirds,
You
the
guys see this?
puppets.
Oh, but what about the vehicles? The Thunderbird's vehicles? Make a
Mhm.
combiner out of that.
And Charlie C. It said BJ truck in the center.
Yes, BJ and the Bear.
Yep.
I'm thinking of like, see, now I'm caught on Thunderbird 2 with its ejectable core and the little vehicles inside, and how that relates to like Soundwave and his cassettes.
All right, get ready for this.
Yes! Hey, you there! Yes, you! What do you transform into?
Oh, I turn into the USS Enterprise from Star Trek.
What? How does that work?
Wait, did you mean like a miniature version of the Enterprise or the whole thing?
No, the real thing. The whole giant spacecraft. Here, I'll show you.
No, wait, no! I think we need a new fortress.
Starscream!
Skinner.
Oh yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
Yes.
That's awesome. Who did that? Who made that?
Let me actually check that actually. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
we got to
it's
give him
called,
credit.
The
Mm-hmm.
Blunt Brothers Productions.
Blunt Brothers Productions on YouTube. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
For the purposes of YouTube, we're referring to large solid objects that you hit things with.
We're about down, actually. But yeah, that was one of the things that came through. You gotta check them out. Maybe like if we have time next week, I could show you one of the episodes because they did 4 episodes.
Cool.
And
Maybe
it was
it's
like
nice.
useless
The 18
transformations. They turned a bulkhead into a legit missile launcher, and he blew up Starscream. They turned Mirage into a speedboat in a desert. They turned somebody into a very slow forklift. They turned somebody into a microwave, and then one just transformed out of existence. So when he transformed, he basically disappeared. And
I
while
mean, there
stuck
is
in
technically a
infinite Earth.
forklift already in the lore because it was
Well,
a
it's an
GoBot.
Autobot, and it's like G1 inspired, and it was funny. And
Yeah,
then
isn't
one
there a
transformed
GoBot
into a microwave.
forklift?
There is a GoBot forklift. I wish I could get him out
Spoons.
for you right now.
Yes,
Was
I
that-
forgot about
yes.
that.
Yeah, he was a little yellow one.
Mm-hmm.
Why is the vehicle mode of this giving me Skids and Mudflap vibes?
It's giving me Ironhide. Like, Fear, do you know which
I
character
get
this
like
is?
animated
Yeah.
Ironhide vibes out of it, but it's giving me more Skids and Mudflap vibes.
Yeah, that's Energon Towline, who was a homage to Ratchet and Ironhide's design, but he had a whole different color scheme. He was like mostly like white with like bits of like blue and orange. So they've given him like a full repaint here.
Okay.
They did do
I
an
just-
Ironhide version of him later as a BotCon thing too, but I'm gonna presume they didn't repaint a BotCon figure when they made this because that would be a little bit insane.
And you're,
Speaking
yeah,
of-
I got
because it
this
only at the tracks where it's like kind of reminds me of Ironhide.
Yeah.
And speaking of
I got this
Ironhide,
one specifically to paint up.
let's
Oh,
see it.
let's see.
Ooh, yeah,
The DK2
nice.
guard.
yeah. That'd
Yeah.
be an easier one because he's already almost there colors wise.
Wow.
Nice.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
And also
And
speaking
you
of
could
like
you could
Ironhide,
really easily turn that into a mohawk for his head.
Oh yeah,
Oh, fully.
it's
And
already
just kind of
basically
give him
there.
BAs. Give him BAs.
Yep.
looking forward to see that custom.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
He was born.
And also for an homage to Ironhide, if he just didn't talk or move, he would have possibly survived in the 1986 movie.
He was,
Like
he
he
was
could have,
always a fight
like he
first,
could-
think later guy.
Didn't that
he could have
ship
just
like
crawled out
crash
the
land
thing.
though?
No, it exploded. Remember, the ship exploded, but like for all we know, he could have like crawled out basically and flew out basically, and like maybe crash landed and was heavily damaged. And then, well, I know Red Alert and medics, like the combiners, wherever, were all there in Transformers.
Technically,
So
didn't we
for-
see him later in the movie in a couple of frames where he was flying over the base?
Yeah, we just kind of
Yeah.
pretend that's somebody else.
Well, I
Like,
guess
we
in all
have-
the
we
storylines,
have, like, the
there's never
medics,
been
we
a
have-
question of what happened to the shuttle. Because it just,
Well, remember,
everyone
the
flew
shuttle
off of it, but they
exploded.
don't show what happened to it after.
Well,
I
I,
want-
always
I want-
assumed because the Decepticons jettisoned it after Hot Rod shot it that it wasn't worth even saving, so it just went down without a
Though
pilot.
then, how would they have their bodies? Because remember, the Autobot ship basically that they
You're
went
right.
to find
The
they
funeral
had
barge.
bodies of Prowl, Brawn, and Ironhide and Ratchet. And still
Interesting.
seeing Ironhide's dead body almost fall on Daniel is a gruesome thing.
Right,
Well, they're
must have
not
been
going to
something
just
left.
let the shuttle crash and just let it rot to the elements because they don't want humans getting a hold of the technology either. So they
Well,
would clean it
G1
up.
might be a
would've
different story
salvaged
for
it,
letting
yeah.
them get the technology because the technology won't be that useful until later times. If we're talking 1986 stuff, unless we're talking nuclear energy.
There's always room to retcon this stuff.
This is
Come
true.
on, Hasbro, release a new 86 continuity.
Yeah,
Well-
Transformers 88, make it happen.
Yes.
88.
Yes, and put us in charge.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
what if
You know,
this
just like the
basically, I make
Deadpool
that
movie and
what if I
Wolverine.
just make Transformers 88 where every Decepticon dies and it's not the Autobots who die and I keep everybody alive? What if I just do that?
That's called fan fiction.
Well, I just recreate the 86 movie except with, first off, we kill off Devastator by having Ultra Magnus rip him in half.
Well, it wouldn't
Then
work.
we
He
move
just
on.
split it with smaller guys.
Oh gosh, not that again.
I was gonna say, if you ripped Devastator in half, you would kill Long Haul, and then the other 5 would beat you to death.
Okay, never mind. We bring in Victorion all of a sudden, and she slices them all into pieces in combiner mode. So all
Did you
of them
say
are dead
G1?
instead. She's not G1, but we'll consider her G1.
No,
for this
no,
movie.
we will not.
No.
Nope.
Victorian's not allowed to be
fine.
in G1.
Okay, then we'll bring in Defensor and Superion. We'll have them just come in there and rip everybody in half.
There you go.
Yeah, where were they the whole time?
If
The
anything,
IDW
by my
did
guess
a,
is they were mainly helping out the Autobots.
yeah.
Defensor was saving
attack.
people.
So IDW
Well, I mean,
Comics
that's
did
their duty is to protect and serve, basically. After all, so if anything, I'm guessing, the
I
two
know the answer,
pacifists would be out just hiding, while Streetwise would be just going guns a blazing, killing Decepticons left and right.
Okay,
These trusty
IDW
weapons.
Comics. Listen. IDW Comics did a new adaptation of the movie towards the beginning of their run. It's also the last thing Bob Budiansky did because they brought him back to script it. And Don Figueroa did the art. So they added an extra few pages in the middle. There's that scene, Perceptor and Blaster fight off the bots, and they're like, "Did you get the message through the primes?" Like, "I hope we're going to be burnt out toaster ovens." And they add a little bit more dialogue where they're like, "Okay, well, did you get a message over to the Ark?" And Blaster's like, "Yeah, but it sounds like they're in trouble too." And they did a big splash page of the Ark where you have Superion and Defensor and Omega Supreme fighting off Menasor, Bruticus, and a few other guys.
Oh,
and then they go
explain where they were.
Yeah, and then they go back to the
Trying to
movie.
explain.
Yeah, and they don't make any other changes to the script. They just added that tiny little interlude in the middle, and then go back to the movie.
I do.
So
have
that's
a
the
high
explanation.
Suspicion
Cool.
If Omega Supreme, Defensor, and was Metroplex introduced in season 3 or was that season 2?
Yeah, no,
3.
Metroplex was 3.
Well, if we just brought in Metroplex in season, I honestly thought Metroplex was Autobot City in the first place with how everything was transforming white.
Yeah.
And well,
Autobot City, Metroplex.
We had Metroplex just transform Av City form, followed by Omega Supreme and all the other guys come in. I'm pretty sure we would have had less casualties, and I'm guessing Wheeljack and Windcharger wouldn't have had to pay the price.
Yeah, according to Five Faces
Decepticity.
of Darkness, Metroplex's transformation cog wasn't working at that point because they had to fix it in 5 Faces, which is why he wasn't able to transform in the movie. The show actually explained that.
Because you mentioned Autobots.
Spike was on Moonbase too.
Yeah.
Isn't he the head?
No, that's Fort Max.
Fort Max.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, my bad.
You got Titan's Return mixed up a little bit.
Well, but Decepticity, because you were saying Fort Max was Autobot City, but I've seen 2 different stories where some say Autobot City was Metroplex, but then others say Metroplex was attached to Autobot City, so he wasn't Autobot City.
Right, like there was, like I don't think Metroplex was a thing at the time. Like there was
no.
If anything, we could kind of put this in the Cyberverse relatedness because Iaconus was technically a half of the city basically and transformed into a city tall warrior titan.
I think because like Metroplex was a Diaclone or one of those micro change concepts that never released yet, and apparently some of those combiners were also old Takara prototypes that weren't released. Maybe there was plans to release them with the movie, but I don't think Metroplex was released with the movie.
No.
Nah, it came out a bit later.
Bill, do you have
Yeah,
a
that's
G1 Fort Max?
I think the intention was there.
Fort Max, no. I have.
Well, I know that
G1
toy guy has
Metroplex.
G1.
Hold on,
Fort Max.
Impactor. Sorry, Mr. Magnus, you were saying?
I do not have a Fortress Maximus. I do have a complete Metroplex.
I was just
Now,
asking because
I have the new one. Well, the newer one.
The toy show I went to get Sergeant Slaughter's autograph, I found a Fort Max that I thought was kind of cheap, but he didn't have a head and he was a little beat up. But I didn't know like how many PC parts and stuff he was missing, so I figured maybe if you had it, you could show me the ropes on him. But that's
There was
why
a
I
time.
asking.
There was a time where he was worth a lot of money, and then his hype just kind of died down.
Oh, interesting.
Also, quick
We're talking
question.
Fort Max, right?
Yeah.
With like season 3, was it the 5 Faces of Darkness that started off everything? Am I correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's immediately
What's
after the movie.
confusing me is that they had Jazz come in, like they had Jazz's like mold reused for that entire like race scene, and like they
it's the
named
last
him
time you see him.
somebody else.
Mhm.
Like it's confusing because Jazz would only ever appear, I think, one more time as a background character.
Yeah.
Well, the voice actor of him passed away shortly after the movie, so that's why they couldn't
true.
continue using him.
Yeah, that's why he just got those cameos. 'Cause that's all they could really do.
Mhm.
There was still
At
G1
least it's a good memory.
characters. There was still G1 characters in season 3 though, because I think Cosmos shows up.
Oh yeah, lots of them.
Cosmos and Braun makes a special appearance out of nowhere, basically,
Yeah, that's
in
an
that
animation
fight
error.
scene.
I'm not talking about animation errors, no.
You know, and the Insecticons and a few other people who shouldn't have been in season 3.
5 Faces of
We had
Darkness was rough
Thundercracker and
'cause
Skyrops' duplicates come in.
ACOM, which was the cheap company, did all those episodes, so that's why there's like incredible amounts of errors compared to the rest of the show. Even
And well, if anything, I'm guessing they just took the old animations that they had basically and just used what they got. And well, I'm guessing that's how Braun appeared in one of the episodes for a small second.
well, they just didn't keep track of what character models they were drawing. They just kind of threw whoever in basically.
Yep. So Friedenstein says that's a great idea I had with doing Transformers 86 like X-Men 97 and have the missing years up to the movie explaining how the characters like Cup and then came into picture.
Yeah, I
So
think that
on-
would be an easier sell than Transformers 88. Just like, well, Transformers 88, the real life year instead of, but I mean the fictional year instead of the real life year.
So as we round up for the evening, Mr. Magnus, what do you have coming up for the week?
A couple of personal things that I ordered, and they should be here early in the week. I got the DX9 Gearwalt. It's the big triple changer Blitzwing. That should be coming here soon. And I'm not sure the other one. I haven't even looked at it. So there's a couple of things sitting in my box at Big Bad Toy Store, but I'll probably wait on those.
Cool. And Shiva Koi says if Hasbro gets in with Mattel and Square Enix, my fanfic could be turned into canon.
Dope crossovers.
The toy work. What do you have coming up for this week?
Well, over on Toy Work Vintage Reviews, hopefully this week will be the Car Crush release. Got the video almost all the way done. I don't know if it's going to be done by Toy Tuesday, but we'll see. However, over on Cruisers Motorsports, if anybody's watching past, present, or future, I'd like to thank you guys for 30,000 subscribers. Thank you guys so much. We got there.
Nice.
Yep. Also, there's not much going out on the Cruisers channel because come to find out, a buddy of mine knows a lot about publishing books, and I've written a lot of books, and he's actually helping me get them prepared for publishing. And
Nice.
that's my mission this week, is to prepare the first one, which is called Cruisers, for publishing. So we'll see how that goes. But that's what I'm working on this week.
That's exciting.
Dope.
Nice. And Decepticitty, what do you have coming up for the week?
Yeah. Okay. So I have a few things coming up. Tomorrow, I'm getting my Transformers vinyl record of the 1984
Lovely.
cartoon music. That's gonna be fun. I'm gonna be chilling tomorrow night, listening to
With
that
a
on my record
playing
player.
all the music loud.
Yeah, I'm gonna have
Nice.
I have my setup all ready to go. I'm gonna have my earphones on. I got my beanbag ready. Yeah, it's gonna be a chill night with my lava lamp. And then Tuesday, I'm doing a live stream on my Deceptikitty channel. It's just fun and creative times. I started doing that last week, and this week, I don't know. I'm opening more snacks and sodas that I'm getting at the Asian grocery store, but I'll be doing playing video games and checking out some other Transformers related hoo-ha. And then specifically Saturday, I had a request to look into the Transformers Headmasters Famicom Disk System game, because it's another obscure Transformers game that's absolutely atrocious, that needs a redo. And it's a challenge because Famicom Disk System is a whole other animal compared to the regular cartridge games. So just for fun, I'm going to do a Saturday morning, play around with the game, and then debug the code at the same time.
Cool.
Among that, my Deceptikitty website's happening. So much is happening with that one this week. So I'll be sending out subscription mail letters, and news will be posted on the website this week.
Nice.
Yeah.
And Impactor, what do you have coming up for this week?
Well, if anything, the goal is tomorrow, so I've been working on a bunch of my pre-handed stop motions, so I should have the scene where Optimus shoots down the ship in Dark of the Moon, basically, and have the Wreckers tear up a Decepticon. This is a very old one, and I'm talking very old. I made this last year during Thanksgiving, actually. So this is going to be a very old update, basically, because I posted the video but then had to delete it because I had to do updates to it. And so I think it will look a lot better, and that'll hopefully be tomorrow that I post everything. Tuesday is going to be more of me just chilling out and trying to make more stop motions. And then Wednesday's just going to be me lawn mowing because I need to make more money. And then
Right on.
also,
Yeah, do it, man. Mow those lawns and make some money for more comics.
and then basically following up with my Bayverse/movie crossovers because, well, I love this Ironhide idea. Why didn't they give us this in G1? Like, this would have been what Megatron got knocking out by, instead of Braun just shooting his own fusion cannon at him.
No, before I go over to Fear, it's funny you mentioned a lawnmowing because our lawnmower had needed repairs some weeks ago, and a bunch of young guys, I would say probably all the ages between 14, 15, and 16, and I was making a joke of it. It's like, these young guys just showed up on the street and causing all sorts of troubles, one with a lawnmower, one with a trimmer, and then one with a rake and a broom and stuff, and we're just like, you guys want to come cut our lawn? And they did an amazing job within like 30 minutes. And they were just walking up and down the street, just asking people if you wanted their lawn cut. And they were getting clients like everywhere. And I'm like, that was cool. Just seeing these young guys just take the initiative, cutting everyone's grass.
Yeah,
so Impactor, if you've got a handful of friends, do it. Yeah.
I'm trying to see if my friends and I can do it. It's going to be hard. I don't get to see my friends that much. They're usually either inside or going somewhere, basically, in my neighborhood. My neighborhood's more of an elderly section.
Perfect. They need help doing that. I was 12 years old and I was doing that.
I don't.
Oh, that's prime.
Yeah, dude, that's your Transformer budget right there.
Yeah, man.
Yes, I know. Yes, it is. But I know most of them, and I know that some mow their own lawns, and I know that some also have people who do their lawns. So basically, I usually
they need something done. Hey, who's cleaning your gutters this week? Clean their gutters,
I can't clean gutters. I don't have a ladder.
Well, invest the money from cutting lawns into getting a ladder so you can upscale your organization.
Yeah.
The elders have spoken.
Yeah.
More services.
And then Thursday and Friday are going to be just me enjoying myself, and Friday's preparation day for my religious release on Saturday for my church and everything that I go to.
Mm-hmm.
And then And then Sunday, basically, I'll meet up with you guys. And, well, hopefully throughout the time I take break, I will be building the other foot for lockdown. And, well, you should see one other foot hopefully built and, well, some of it colored.
Yeah, keep us updated with that. Over to you, Fear. What is coming up for this week?
Hang on.
Oh, sorry.
Hang on.
Go ahead, Mr. Magnus.
Impactor, do not use cardboard for the bottom of your feet.
I have a plan to replace everything.
It's very slippery.
Yeah, on carpet, I imagine, especially.
And if you're in a cardboard cosplay and you slip and bust your ass, you will destroy the cosplay.
For me, I have a plan to put I forget what it's called, but some type of mesh that I'll put under the feet. It's to make everything more. I forget what it's called.
You need to bulk that up to where it just slips over the top of your own leg and it fastens at your calves.
Yeah, that's the plan. I have straps ordered basically to fasten around my foot and all around my leg and everything.
But it does not go under your foot. Don't make it go under your foot. You're gonna have problems.
You're gonna have a bad time.
I'm not letting it go under my foot because it's something I forget what it was. I was trying to make it was a prelude to an old costume I was doing basically. I tried to do what, as you were saying, basically, and well, yeah, I slipped and fell.
Experience.
Crushing the thing, yeah, in experience. I'm doing what basically I'm trying to make sure it doesn't do. I'm trying to make sure it doesn't explode like the last one.
And Freakenstein said you got suckered in just like everyone else because they destroyed your lawnmower. That's how they got their job.
Those punks sabotage your lawnmower.
Like they heard the sound of a lawnmower not working and they just spawned out of nowhere.
They came around 2 weeks ago and put sugar in all the gas tanks.
That's exactly it.
Over one more mow, and now they just won't turn over again. Man, everybody's lawnmower died this week. Hey, look here. These guys
Kids just coming around with wire cutters, cutting the wire to try and start it up.
What a coincidence.
Business.
Yes.
Break your legs.
Over to Fear or Courage, what do you have coming up for the week?
I see good news on both my phone and my computer screen, which is not only is our website back up, but it's gotten a makeover.
Yes.
I was supposed to post my Unicron review on Friday, and I was like, where did it go? Why is it not here? It's here now.
File deleted.
I'm going to, as soon as we're off here before I collapse, I'm going to hit post on that. So this will be up on our blog, our bot reviews. This silly thing in my breakdown of that with some funny pictures.
It's so bad. It's great.
I know.
I love it. It's great.
This is the type. That's my. This is my type of bullshit right here.
Yes. Yes, dude.
Look at it. How can you not enjoy this? Look at it.
That's the true Orson Welles Unicron is what it is.
I say right at the end of my like spoiler one of the things I said right at the end of my review is like, listen, you either dig this idea or you don't. I think that's going to decide this.
Yeah.
Beyond that, gosh, I don't have a lot of free time the next couple weeks, so I got to see if I can find another thing like that I can bash out really quick.
Hold on. Hold that Unicron back up again.
Yeah.
That has Mattel written all over it. Like, that's why they're getting bought out.
Hey, I'm if it's not gigantic and $1 billion, if they ever did finally produce a transforming version of the design, I would want it. I would be after it. Yeah. Maybe don't hold me to this because it depends on what I can do during the week. But maybe I'll do G2 Blue Grimlock next because he's nice. Fun.
There you go.
Yeah,
he's nice.
Well, we have a G2 Grimlock coming out. Not G2. We have a comic books Grimlock coming out. I think it was the first time that I came here when you guys were talking about everything for the comics that was coming out for the what was it, I forget who it was. We were talking. It was like when I came here and we were talking about. You guys were talking about who was it? I forget what his name was. He was in the comics.
Straxus?
Yes, Straxus. You guys were talking about Straxus and all the other guys.
Yeah. Well, the comic one's cool, but it's not cool blue like this one. So right now, this one wins in that department.
Freakenstein says grip tape for the feet and gorilla tape for something else. Gorilla tape, yes. Yeah. So as we wrap up for the evening, so again, thank you all of you guys who take your time to hang out with us. Thank you for everyone in the comments.
I have nothing to do, so I'm happy.
Like, subscribe to our channel, and check us out on all our social medias, because we are Children of Primus, collectors in disguise. And as we always say at the end of our stream, till all are one.
Till all
All are
are
one.
one.